The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome everybody, friends and pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. Pop a squat, pop open a cold one with your boys. It is Monday. We are back. Sorry you missed us. We've had a lot of trouble, but you can help us out with that. We'll tell you in a little bit. But for now, you are listening in to a brand new episode of The Black Files.
Hooray! We're back once again to talk about the things we like and the things that not many people like.
That's Angel's
Like
line.
you.
Did you just stole my shtick?
Yes, I did.
Well, I guess I'm done.
We're changing the format,
No, we're not
Angel.
changing.
Sit down.
We're not changing the fucking format.
All right, thank you once more, everybody, for joining us. I'd like to say something about preamble, but I'm honestly, even now, after all this time, I'm still excited. Guys, let's talk about Endgame.
Fine a fucking Lee. Yes. All right.
Oh, there goes the swearing barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to the Uncensored Interview and Review podcast of the Ravens Flock. The Black Files is your host, Juan Arouse. And right now, I have three others with me. I've got, I'm going right to left. I've got KStorm cosplay.
Yo.
Dead ahead of me, Angel Mendez.
Perfectly balanced, like the dankest memes should be.
And to the left, the head of the Ravens Flock is A. Casabona.
Hey, Juan, let's make it snappy.
How about no?
We can't hear that snap. Can you? That's a little
Nice.
better. All right, and as Angel said, we're going to try to skip preamble. We're just going to jump right into our review of Avengers Endgame.
It has been 3 weeks. Normally we wait 2, right? For movies.
Yeah, you know what? We actually, here's the problem. I don't even think we're going to be able to put this out after 3 weeks, and I'm going to explain to you people why. We've asked folks to try and help the Ravens Flock out and help us by going to patreon.com/ravensflock, and you can donate as little as $1 a month. The trouble is, our last episode came out right before Endgame, and we couldn't upload it. No, we couldn't put it up on
course.
SoundCloud because we couldn't afford the plan anymore. So we've been without episodes, and we couldn't upload it to our Patreon because the damn audio file, it was 3 hours long, about 200 megabytes, and that's like the upper limit for the sound files that you can upload through Patreon, so fuck us.
There was more limit, but half of it disappeared for some reason. We are not quite sure what happened.
Yeah, we're not sure about that. But you
yeah.
folks can help us out with that and help continue supporting the Ravens Flock. You can support us by going to patreon.com/ravensflock. You can donate as little as $1 a month. We have a $5 tier. We have a $10 tier. If you go into the $10 tier, we can actually start printing out custom t-shirts to you, courtesy of the Ravens Flock, on our own dime. But you would be able to help us, and we'd be able to actually keep our shit running. So please, for the love of God, this is ridiculous. And Jose is giving me his glare like, why haven't you told
I'm
me
not
this?
giving you Juan, I'm not giving you the glare.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, you were.
No, I wasn't giving you guys the glare. I was just gonna chime in and say, yes, please go to our Patreon and help us out.
Man, the economy got really bad after that snap wiped out half of the economists and
Yeah.
the banks.
You're not
And the
wrong.
money.
You're
What does this have anything
not
to do
wrong.
with this?
Money counts as resources.
Oh, yeah,
half
that's
of it is gone now.
God damn it. All right, before we go further, as we always do, this is an uncensored interview and review podcast. That means that there will be spoilers. But then again, at this point, the spoiler ban was lifted a week after Endgame came out.
The directors themselves came out and said, yeah, go ahead.
Whether it's 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, if by now you have not seen Avengers Endgame, you have only yourself to blame.
You are
We also-
sad and I have no more desire.
we also have-
No, they only have their wallets to blame.
That's true. We also have super hard-ass swearing, just like we've been doing right now. So we will swear like a motherfucker. Angel's picking at a scab on his knuckle. I don't know why. Dude, don't pick at it.
I punched a wall once.
I will split.
Stop it.
I will pour some burning alcohol into that
Fine.
so you can feel something.
I was
Seriously.
fixing my internet. Give me a break.
Don't
it in
make
hol-
me go Mama Bear on you.
Dip
Anyway,
it-
I just
dip
found
it
out
in
my
holy
only-
water.
by the way, I just found out the box of internet in the back of my house also counts as its own switch breaker. So I spent 2 hours fiddling with the electricity for fucking nothing. All I had to do was hit a switch.
Ugh. I am so sorry, dude.
I'm like, really? I
Motherfucker.
can only blame myself for not knowing,
Dude.
but also shit.
And, of course, we're also going to have opinions that may or may not clash with your worldview. Those opinions belong to the individuals themselves. It does not represent any sort of group or convention or newspaper or sandwich or whatever. It's our own. You want to come to us, you can deal with us individually.
But I still believe sandwich can have mayonnaise in it.
It can.
Again.
Okay.
But pineapple doesn't go on pizza.
Yes, it does.
Excuse you?
No, it don't.
Are we
Folks-
going to have a fucking problem here?
Folks, Keanu Reeves already resolved that. He said it's sometimes can go on pizza, sometimes it doesn't. He personally does not like some pineapples on pizza, but sometimes he'll partake in it.
Will you deny
Well-
the words of Gun Fu Jesus?
Yes, pineapple only goes on dessert pizzas
What
with
is-
cream cheese sauce.
There is no such thing as dessert pizza.
Yes,
That
there is.
That is just pie without upper crust. Don't lie to
Dude,
me.
have you not had a Lunchables?
Yes, I did. It's pie. It's
No,
a pie.
I mean
No,
the
it's not.
Lunchables pizzas with like the chocolate frosting and M&Ms.
That's
Angel,
a
I
pie.
Angel,
No,
I
it's
like,
not. It's a pizza.
No, it is not. Don't lie to me. Pizza that has no cheese or meat or sauce is just pie.
Hang on.
It does have cheese. It has cream cheese.
That is pie filling.
Bitch, please. You're
not-
in no position to argue since you eat at the Cuban place where they serve lobster on pizza.
Fine, but at least that's a form of meat. So I will argue against this until the day I will die on this hill. Pizza needs to
You
have
will
actual
go
meat
down
to be
with
pizza.
this.
Fine.
Shit.
Well, here's a news flash for you. Brie Larson as Captain Marvel's awesome.
Oh!
Seconded.
I politely, respectfully disagree with your opinion. Fuckface.
Angel is trying so hard right now.
I'm going to do to you what Thanos did to half of the universe in the next 5 minutes.
You mean get his head chopped off?
Exactly. I'm going to lose my head on this bit. Anyways. Now,
So, yeah, you know what? If you
Anyways.
folks have,
Let us
if you
round
don't
back.
like our opinions, or if you don't like having your worldview challenged, you can
or
tune
you're a
out.
heretic that doesn't understand what pizza is.
Then you can tune out now. Otherwise, you can continue enjoying the Ravens flock. You can continue enjoying the Black Files. That being said, yeah, we just threw up a 20 minutes in. First things that happen, we have Tony adrift. We have Avengers are trying to figure shit out, and Tony and Nebula had spent 23 days on board the Guardians of the Galaxy ship.
That was adorable.
He adopted Nebula. He
Like,
adopted
I
Nebula.
will teach you social manners.
First, we're going to play paper football. Arrgh, I'm going to catch. No.
No.
No, you just hold the goal. Okay. Okay, I missed. Now I hold the goal. Now it's your turn. You have to get it in between the goal posts. My fingers here. See? Flick. You won. Good game. And he offers a hand. She's like, a handshake? What the hell is
It
this?
doesn't seem like much, but considering Nebula's past, this is probably the nicest anyone has ever treated her. Ever.
Although,
If she starts calling him daddy, I'm gonna get real troubled.
I know, but real talk here, guys. How long has it been since any of us have actually played paper football?
Too
This
long.
thing-
High
this
school.
invention
High
of
school
video
for me.
games.
High school.
High school.
High school.
I'd never actually played that. We had a variation weirdly in Cuba that was like, you guys know dominoes, right?
Yeah.
You know that if you take like 2 dominoes and put a piece in the middle and squeeze it, the front piece will basically shoot out like a Panzerhaus bullet, right?
Yes.
We used to do that in Cuba all the time. It was like
Nice.
playing Space Invaders versus like another team of Space Invaders. It was pretty fun.
Cool. Okay, we're gonna have to get a domino table and
No, we won't.
and we're gonna have to get a whole set, and you're gonna have to teach me sometime.
Sure.
And we'll set it up outside the house, right under the tree, so that we and we'll have folding chairs out there. And I'll even get you a cigar. That's not really a cigar; it's a chocolate cigar.
And a bottle of rum.
All right.
You do realize the dominoes would get lost in the mini jungle around
That's
that
the
tree?
risk we have to play.
Good point.
That being said, though, it was one of those dumbass games you invent when
Alright,
you're
so-
like 12.
So,
Yeah,
he-
Fair.
so Nebula and Stark are bonding in 23 days on board the ship after the giant glorified mess of
They
Infinity
basically
War.
cobbled together an engine, put it on a ship, and went to Earth. And then the engine died, and they've been stuck there for like a month, give or
no,
take.
yeah, like 23 days.
Running out of water, running out of resources. Well, Nebula will survive because of cyborg implants. Stark is looking like Christian Bale in the Clockwork Man movie.
Running out of air. and
No,
that's
no,
worse.
he's gone gaunt.
I
He's got,
noticed.
like
You can
his
see his
arms,
ribs.
and
It's terrifying.
like his. You know how he's usually like Robert Downey Jr. fucking takes care of himself. He
Oh,
looks like
yes,
me.
yes, he do.
No, he
yes,
looks like-
he do.
No, he has like his arms get like undefined and flabby like me. Like yeah, I've got like mass.
And
but
he's giving
not
his
like,
last message to Pepper, feeling all like, man, I was hoping we could really do it this time. I was hoping I could finally finish my contract and exit this franchise with some dignity. But I guess
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
die here in the middle of nowhere unless something completely unlikable happens, like a Super Saiyan or something.
Oh hey, is that a
Oh,
Super
hey.
Is that a Super Saiyan? So the Super Saiyan shows up.
Captain Marvel?
Oh, guys, by the way,
What?
you might have noted that Captain Marvel, okay, I mean, she didn't show up very much in this movie, but she has a bit of a more, how could I describe her personality? More defined personality.
Yeah.
She's cocky, self-assured, she's determined, she's serious, but she's just trying to get the job done. Do you know why it was so hard to nail that down in the original Captain Marvel movie?
Why?
5 writers.
Yeah, that would
That
do
would
it.
do it.
That would
But
do
when
it.
you put only 2 writers to go, okay, how is she gonna be? She's gonna be like this.
Like,
But near
she's-
the
she's like the chief in space.
Essentially, yeah. So you know what? I feel like this movie gave her a bit more justice by, ironically enough, giving her less screen time and making her personality more firmly defined, so we know what her deal is. So when I saw her the first time, I just went, "Oh, good, it's you." And then later I went, "Oh, good, it's you."
Trust me when I
Peter.
trust me when I say, folks, this
Stop it.
actually makes all the difference for Angel.
Yeah, I am the kind of guy that likes the subtleties of good writing of character definition. Even if a person is doing something stupid, as long as it's well written, it works for me.
A nice ass is also a big attractor for him too, but we're gonna get to
Well,
that
there's
later.
that, but
Yeah,
that
there's
is
that.
semantics. Physical attraction doesn't have to do with the fact that a good written personality can overdo physical deficiencies, because I like big butts and I cannot lie.
You sure about that, Angel? You've been waving around the whole physical attraction thing like a lightsaber.
Hey man, superheroes look good.
Yeah, true.
99% of all superheroes are like perfect examples of physical humanity, and I'm fine with that because I love the escapism. So give me more escapism. Give me more butts.
But
Well,
Butts.
all right, folks.
Become as
so-
butts.
So Captain Marvel shows up.
She brings Tony and Nebula to Earth, and
Earth.
yeah, everyone's and you have what's his face, Tony and Steve meeting up, and they hadn't seen each other. It's like, oh my god, no, Steve, I couldn't beat him.
I
It's
lost the
a-
kid. Like, that's the first thing he said.
I lost the kid.
lost the kid. Like, that's been haunting him for days.
and he tells Steve, like, Steve, I couldn't beat him. It's okay, Tony. Neither could I.
We all lost. We all fucked. Like, there's a reason the majority... Fun little fact. The color palette in the entire first section of the movie is blue and black and brown and dull as shit.
Cold.
Everything
It
is
is
frozen in
cold.
sadness.
it is cold and empty, and I'm gonna burn deep
they
burn
try-
my
My
nice comfy robe
soul.
now.
They try to like recap, like, okay, how the fuck can we get back by this? And Tony is sitting on a wheelchair with
an
his
IV
shades
drip.
on, with an IV drip on him. He's like, you know, I hate to say I told you so,
But
but I
fucking
told you so.
And Stevie's like, Tony, you need to be rational. And Tony goes, shut
Shut
the
the
fuck
fuck up.
Let me put it this way. You can replace that entire speech Tony did with, fuck you, Steve, over and over again, and he would have had the same result. Because Tony he's had enough.
Like he literally.
He's not in a good place. He's just straight up not having a good time.
Like, he
man.
The only thing that was keeping his sanity before getting to Earth was interacting with Nebula.
Yep,
Pretty
and
much.
and
Yep.
he finally gets to Earth. Is like, you know what? And he throws this in his face. Like, I had a big idea. I think you guys may remember it was called Ultron, but no, you guys all had to worry about your civil liberties, and you gotta fucking throw my wrench in my shit.
And then you went off and fought to save your fucking boyfriend,
Yeah.
and I was here trying to keep the world. You know what? I'm so angry. I'm going to commit suicide at you.
like, wait,
He
what?
should have been his boyfriend. Damn it! Shut the fuck
Let-
up.
let me-
Enough
this
with the
way.
Stony.
Let me put it this way.
No.
No,
What? What?
Stephen Bucky.
You mean Stucky.
Yes,
Okay.
the Stucky.
Okay,
God damn
but
it.
like he
I
fucking,
guess she's kinda
he throws
stuck
it in
on
his-
that.
He fucking
God
throws
damn it,
this in his
Angel.
face. He fucking throws this in his face. Like, you, Steve, told me that if we lost, we would lose together.
Well, guess what?
We lost and you weren't there.
I love how
So he
this
rips
is,
the-
this is just like Civil War all over again, in the sense that Iron Man is clearly being irrational, but at the same time, part of you is going, yeah, I would react the same way.
Yeah.
So he takes the arc reactor that he has surgically grafted on his chest. He rips it out, plops it into Steve's hands. Like, if you want to try and go after him, you go ahead, put that on your fucking chest, and you tell me how it goes. I think I'm having a stroke.
Let me put it this way: if if Tony had just taken out the reactor, put it on his hand, and just passed out with a middle finger extended, that's kind of what he did.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
okay,
much.
so-
I will, like, from hell's heart, I stab at thee for
So,
hate's sake.
as you can imagine, dear audience, the Avengers are not in a good place.
No, they're
They
not.
lost half of their team. The Earth is kind of fucked up. We get to see this nice little hologram of all the screens of everybody who passed away. And of course, right before Tony's breakdown, it lingers on Tom Holland's face for like an extra second.
Peter fucking Parker.
with the
man.
words
Yeah.
deceased on it, just to go,
You know,
hey,
because
are you feeling it yet, Mr. Krabs?
because we need the death toll to show it. What the fuck is this? The Hunger
and
Games?
then Shuri.
Oh yeah, Shuri's dead too.
Like, Princess Shuri
No.
confirmed
Oh.
dusted.
African Onichan is
What?
dead.
On that subject though, what pissed me off is people were showing. It was showing in the trailer. I think it was
What?
flipping past, and it showed Shuri's face, spoiling it.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we knew a shit ton of people died. It was inevitable they want to put some faces we knew just to make us feel extra bad.
Which it did.
But yeah, Tony got put on the bed and they gave him some tranquilizers, like enough to knock out 3 elephants because he's not in a good place right now.
Pretty much.
And everybody's like, well,
What are
it's
we gonna
all
do?
kind of fucked. Thor is sitting over there eating bagels and drinking beer. Rocket Raccoon is here. We thought he was a Build-A-Bear for a second. And then Brie Larson goes, guys, let's just go kill him. I'm a Super Saiyan. Let's go fuck his shit up.
She pulls, she gives the fucking classic line that Harley Quinn does at Joker. Why didn't you just shoot the fucker?
Why don't you? She's like
Harrison Ford in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Why doesn't he just shoot the fucker?
And everyone's like, wait, no, hang on. The movie doesn't end yet. We gotta develop this. And Brie Larson is like, no, let's just go kill the guy. And Thor, who, let's be honest, has lost pretty much more than anybody else here, is the one that goes, vunk. I like this one. Because she wants to kill him too. Let's go murderize the fucker.
No.
And she didn't flinch.
And
she
that's
didn't flinch.
after that they've learned that Thanos used the stones again.
Yeah, we just found out, like, how do we find Thanos? Well, this garden planet had a similar explosion of cosmic what the fuckery. So I love the fact that everybody's like, what do we do? What do we do? And Brie Larson is the one that, let's just kill the guy. And Thor is like, you know what? She's right. Let's just kill the guy.
Use the stones and bring everyone back.
Let's
just
fix
like
the
that.
problem.
And Steve,
Now, I
just
gotta be
like
honest
I
with
love
you.
Captain Marvel's simple way of thinking.
Props. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys. I know this movie was advertised to be 3 hours long, but I'm a little surprised that the credits kept rolling 15 minutes in because we just kind of finished the whole thing in one go, didn't we? Cut to the opening of Shrek. Somebody once told me the world
is gonna decapitate it because Thor's an asshole.
Yeah, cut to Thanos just in his farm. I know I said this before. I want to know what that fruit tastes like. It's like a space sweet potato or something. I want some of that. And we see that he's all
What
fucked
is it, like
up.
a yo-yo stop or some shit?
It was like this big thing with spikes on the outside. But,
What's like the thing that it looked like to you? I
but
forgot.
it grows on top of the stalk. It doesn't hang, so I have no idea what the hell it is.
No
So
clue.
Thanos is basically trying to work on his 401k retirement plan when a band of angry cosmic hooligans bust in and basically
She takes him. Just poof, motherfucker.
just
Whoa.
bang, got to Hulkbuster, got to the other guy, got to
War
Thor
Machine.
and Thor just comes in like
Chops his arm off
rules
first.
of nature at thee, motherfucker.
First, he chops his hand off with the gauntlet.
Clunk.
You know, it's a shame that Robert Downey Jr. wasn't in this scene. I would have loved to hear "I'm a lead motherfucker," lead farmer.
I'm a
motherfucker.
Farmer,
Are you
motherfucker.
farming fruit? I like to farm lead. But yeah, no. I felt like this was going to happen. I wasn't expecting it to happen so soon because they find Thanos and we find out that, oh shit, he did the thing. He broke the stones because, in his own words, he wants to avoid, what was it again, greater temptation or some shit like that?
Just temptation.
Temptation. So he destroyed it to make sure that his victory was permanent. So we get this terrible, quiet moment of everybody going, no, we got to find the stones. We got to find the stones. And Nebula goes, he's not a liar. He broke the stones. And we get this terrible second of silence when you feel like everybody's just in limbo of, I don't know what to do. And Thanos goes, you know, this would be a good time for me to realize that I am actually kind of evil. Oh, God!
And Thor.
Thor just goes, ugh. It's like an afterthought. Just, ugh. There goes the head. What do? I went for the head.
No,
and Thor
I
just
went for the head.
Thor just kind of walks away like the
Fuck
look
this
on
noise,
everybody's face is literally, I don't know what to do now.
Pretty much.
What the fuck do we do?
At
What the
first,
fuck
when
just
I saw,
happened?
When I saw them take him down, I thought it was going to be a trap.
Me too. No, he just kind of, no, that's it. You kill him. The end.
Like they went on the fucking ship, and Captain Marvel apparently
like,
scouted ahead of time.
no
She's like,
defenses.
no, there's no defenses, there's no ships, no soldiers. It's just him. Like,
I thought it was going to be a trap
fuck
because,
are we waiting for?
because
Let's get
I
him.
thought that they were going to kill off Captain Marvel too soon because this son of a bitch, Juan Heraus, put it in my mind.
Okay.
Tell me.
Okay,
You're the one who listened.
here's what's up.
Oh.
Here's what's
Shut up.
No.
Okay. I was under the belief that there was going to be some kind of fucking fight and in his fucking space farm, and that Thanos was going to snap Captain Marvel herself, which would explain why we don't see her in any of the other footage in the trailers leading up to Endgame. My thought was he snapped her because she's that much of a fucking threat. I'm not going to deal with this bitch in particular.
No. See,
Like,
my personal hypothesis.
I wasn't being like, she's not, like, get rid. No, I'm like, he
We have a Super
realizes
Saiyan.
that she's a tank,
So once again,
The tank.
you know,
V-Tank.
this actually
Space tank.
harkens back to the conversation we had yesterday, where Thanos just wants to destroy all the lewd anime.
We'll get to that after we're done here. No, but
So,
they
killed-
He
yeah, go
went. He went one step further. He's like, no, I'm just going to destroy the stones because I don't need them anymore. Anyone else who would use it would just try to undo my work, or they would just try to do other random shit, and I don't need that on my head. So,
Fun little fact.
oh,
though.
you don't need that on your head, you say?
Wait, that's not what I meant. Now, here's the thing,
Oh,
though.
Lord.
I personally thought that they were going to fight Thanos, and then in the middle of the fight, he's about to lose, and then he uses the stones to destroy them, hoping to basically make sure nobody does his victory. I wasn't expecting him to do the
I already did it.
the Watchmen, I did it 35 minutes ago thing. So
Oh.
that genuinely did caught me by surprise. And also, we forgot something.
What?
Speaking of things that got proven wrong, I would like to speak about the thing that got proven right.
Which
What?
is?
My Hawkeye theory.
Right, the very beginning of Endgame starts with Clint Barton at his farm,
Like,
teaching his daughter, calling her
making
Hawkeye.
jokes about this when we finished watching Infinity War. I'm like,
Yeah.
I bet you Hawkeye is gonna go home, see his farm, and his family's just gone. And they basically did that beat by beat. By like, oh man, it's sure happy that I'm having this idyllic life with my family and my bracelet on my ankle and my barbecue and my. Where's my family?
When the joke
like,
becomes
oh, hey.
real, bruh.
He's talking to his wife. Is like turns to his daughter.
She's gone.
All
You see the ashes float away,
and then turns around and.
but you
Yeah, go
don't.
on.
It's not an obvious float away. You know what's happening. You see the ashes float away, and then turn back, and the rest of his family gone. And it's like, oh shit,
What
So-
happened?
So fast
what the
forward.
fuck just happened?
We fucked up real bad.
Yes.
because he has no idea what's going on.
And
So-
then 5
Actually,
years.
you stopped me as I was gonna make the joke.
Ah, fuck, sorry.
No
I was gonna
joke.
say,
All right.
they kill Thanos, and the movie's over.
And the movie's over. Roll credits.
Nope.
Problem solved. Achievement unlocked. But no.
Or is it?
5 years later. Shit's kind of still fucked. We get to see all this, like, empty look. Like, isn't it, like, seeing New York that empty incites a feeling. Like, I've been in New York for 2 days. I've
I've
visited
lived
New
there
York for 2 days.
I've lived
You
there for
lived
the
there.
first third of my life.
Seeing New York that empty created a pit in the back of my stomach. Like, this doesn't feel right.
This ain't right.
Panning over the Statue of Liberty and seeing just empty streets with no traffic, not even a
All
single
those
alarm.
ships that crashed onto Liberty Island.
And all the ones just floating on the docks doing nothing. It is this feeling of, it's not dread, this feeling of, it's like
Unease.
It's like giving a city the uncanny valley.
It's unease.
I feel like
It's
I'm watching
morose.
Logan
It's
again.
Fucking.
Like the beginning scene of 28 Days Later when the main character is just
Shut
running
up.
through an empty city for
Shut
like
up.
10 minutes. Like, where the shit is everyone?
Shut up.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we see that, yes, there's still people, and Steve Rogers is doing his best to do some therapy and go, hey, man, shit sucks, but we gotta try. We gotta at least attempt to move on, because if we just dwell in the past, then Thanos might as well kill everyone. And then cut to 5 minutes later, I can't stop dwelling on the past. I can't move on from this.
Yeah, no, that's exactly Steve.
Because that's the core of his character. He can't let go of shit. And we see that Natasha, thank God they gave her the red hair again. She looks way better with
okay,
red hair.
her red hair grew out. You see that her
it's-
tips
the
are still
tips
blonde.
She's basically in the position of Nick Fury with half of the resources, and she's losing her fucking mind. And
She's got cabin fever too. It's like, okay, you guys are monitoring an underwater earthquake. What are we gonna do about that? And she's
Nothing.
talking to General Okoye in Wakanda. He's like,
it's like
it's
nothing.
an underwater earthquake. There's nothing that can be done.
We just
There's
let that
nothing
be.
you do. You just watch it.
And we get the explanation of why Captain Marvel is not here. She's like, hey man, I got faster than light speed travel. I got a bunch of planets to run through, and the other planets, I love the way she says it without sounding like a bitch. She actually goes, the other planets don't have you. Like the
Don't
Earth
have Avengers.
has the Avengers basically holding the fort down, but every other planet, okay, I'm
Not
guessing,
other planet.
maybe I'm guessing other planets may have their own teams of superheroes, but they don't have Super Saiyans. So
Yeah.
she needs to go there and do Super Saiyan stuff. Yeah, I love the fact that Rocket Raccoon is like, what, you're getting a new haircut?
He's like, asshole.
And when she explains, she's like, okay, you know what, that you got
no,
a point, fine.
Like Rocket Raccoon grows the fuck up a little bit.
He's surprisingly mature in this movie.
Yeah,
okay, he's
well,
still
5
an
years of being.
He's a bit of an ass still, but he's
He's
still
a smart
mature.
ass.
He's a smart
He's a
ass.
smarter.
And you know,
ass.
we basically had the whole deal of Captain America going, I keep telling people to move on, but the core of my character is that I can't move on.
Also,
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
also minor thing. I do like the haircut on Captain Marvel.
It does
Oh,
look
she
As
nice.
rocks
extra an
it.
extra plus.
It actually looks nicer. Because, you know, they got the short hair, but she actually still looks like a woman, like what the comics have done to her recently.
And
I
like,
feel so bad for comic book Captain Marvel. She got the shaft on that one.
it makes sense though, practically wise, since she's kind of with her power. When she's flying, her hair kind of whips around.
Light speed hair
It
in your
whips
hair.
in her face, and she got sick of it,
That would be
like
terrible.
any woman would.
So
But doesn't she also have that space mask helmet thingy?
she doesn't use it anymore.
Not that
It
much.
all-
No.
That was
all
a
spiked up here.
that was a
Mohawk,
symbol
yeah.
of the Kree uniform, so she's not gonna wear
Good
that
point.
anymore.
Good point.
So you guys remember when Doctor Strange said, "I saw 14,000, etc."
No,
et cetera,
14,605
futures. Well, in which one do we win? One. Now everybody thought one would be the one where the heroes come together, or the one where they stop Thanos. No, one is the future in which a random ass rat
in San Francisco.
in San Francisco
at a storage parking lot.
runs over a control panel and
And-
reminds us that Ant-Man and the Wasp was a thing.
So
Which,
keep-
by the way,
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
No,
Shut up! Shut up! Shut
KStorm to
up!
this
Shut up!
day-
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Nope!
To
Nope!
this
Nope!
day-
Nope! Shut up!
Stop
No.
it.
Nope! Nope! No! 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 No!
I
No!
will
No!
pull
No!
your mic. I don't give a damn. I'll
Don't
do-
you?
She hasn't seen the movie yet, has she?
No, she's
Nope.
not.
Oh my god, you garbage person.
Yeah,
But
and
what-
I won't live in this trash can. Thank you.
so keep
Joe,
in mind.
yeah,
Fun.
go
What the
to
hell's
the
wrong with you?
trash with all the people that eat shitty pizza like you.
Whoa!
You will never deny
You're the
this.
ones who eat the shitty pizza.
What do you mean?
Excuse
shitty?
I just eat every other type, except anchovies.
Those
They can
sounds
go
like
suck
the-
on it.
Those
Guess
sounds
what?
like
I've
the
had anchovies. They ain't that bad.
that sounds like the words of somebody with no standards. Or are you telling me your standards got wiped away with a snap?
Dude. God damn it.
Oh yeah!
so
Thanos
everyone-
may have the 6 Infinity Stones, but I have the Destruction Stone.
So
God.
everyone listening
Ow,
in, keep
ow,
in mind
jerk.
everything that's about to happen is all because of that one rat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
That one stupid rodent on that control panel.
He would never have come out of
The
the
quantum
quantum realm if it hadn't been for the rat, because the person who was going to bring him back from the quantum realm
They
got
got
dusted.
They kind of got so Scott Lang plays the part of person that hasn't seen any of the movies.
Oh God. Okay, for the record,
You're
it's
not wrong.
It's not nearly as funny as we're making it out to be.
Yes, it is.
But
Because
Scott's entire deal in the movie is for like 75 of the movie is I
the fuck
don't
am
know
I?
what's going on. Somebody tell me what's going on. What do you mean this has been going on? Oh Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Oh,
he,
frickin' hell.
he tries to find any semblance of what happens. He sees a lot of people who are depressed. He sees a memorial with his name on it under the label of the Vanished.
That memorial also had the pen name of Stan Lee there.
Wait, which pen
It was
name
like
him?
Stanley something. It was a pen name he used to have back in the heyday.
No, his original name was Stanley something.
They put
then
that
he
there.
changed. Oh
They
my
put that there.
God,
And I'm
They
like,
just-
why you have to do this to me, Marvel?
motherfuckers!
So yeah,
Fuckers.
poor
No,
Scott.
it gets worse. It gets so much worse. His daughter. His daughter. Oh my God.
Oh, fun fact. For all of you dumbasses that were complaining that she looks too old, the actress is 17. So this is actually accurate.
His little peanut. She
Oh, no.
grew up and
She's
she
turning
became a
to
jar
the
of planters.
Big nut.
No, she grew up into a jar of planters. She's a snack.
Ha!
Ah, that's bad. I'm sorry.
Hey, you're not her dad.
No.
You're allowed.
No, I was making a pun, but I didn't
Excuse
realize
you?
how bad the pun was. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's
I'm
that
not
is
into-
no. You own that shit. That was perfect.
No,
you keep it.
No, it
It's
wasn't.
being recorded right now.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
But that's not the point. The point is, oh my God, my little baby girl.
she's now a girl.
No, she's a grown girl.
I wasn't there to be angry at her first boyfriend. It's okay, Dad. My first boyfriend pulls out an ashtray right here.
Wait, you started dating when I was.
What? You think you're not good enough for my daughter's lungs?
Dad, you're making Gary upset. His name is Gary. I don't know what his name is, Dad.
I don't trust him. He's a shifty character.
Okay, we're bad.
Also,
We're
I gotta
bad.
say though, I love the way they showed how fucking like it's a subtle thing, but when he's talking to that kid on the bicycle, he goes, "Kid, what happened here?" And the kid just looks at him with this 1,000-yard stare and just bikes away. And I'm like, that kid probably has no family and is living by himself in his own house.
He has seen some shit.
Like it's the subtle things like the overgrown gardens and the abandoned cars. Like the cars haven't even been hijacked or stolen. The cars have just been left on the road.
That's something that people were complaining about. Like, I wanted this to be a hellscape and people trying to strike to survive because the warlords of people taking the resources and needs to be
Half
Mad
of the
Max.
criminals are gone too.
Like, okay, here's the thing. Everyone lost, even those would-be criminals. So everyone's fucking fucked in the brain for this.
Also,
No!
guys, it's easy to forget, but the snap probably killed way more than just half of the people in. Okay, let's go to Earth alone.
Yeah.
Imagine the busiest, fastest highway you have ever driven on.
Dead.
Imagine that half of the drivers just disappear while their cars are still going at 70 miles an hour.
Gone.
How many
No,
planes fell
worse,
out of
the
the sky?
Autobahn in Germany. Jesus Christ.
How many planes fell out of the sky? How many patients died in operation tables when their doctors went to take a break and never came back? How many patients died on their waiting tables when there were not enough doctors or nurses to take care of them? How many people in situations that could have been helped, like stranded in the woods or in the seas? How many ships capsized because the captain just disappeared halfway through turning the wheel? Like, Thanos' actions had consequences that hit way more. Like, me and Juan had like several hours worth of conversation of how many nuclear plants suffer meltdown, how many species went extinct, and how many exploded in population.
Like, imagine the rats. Matt Pat from Film Theory and Game Theory. He actually put through a fucking calculation of like, oh, there's no way that there would be enough rats left in the world
yes,
for
there
one.
is.
Like, actually, as a matter of fact, yes, there would be.
Explosive
And
breeders, my man.
They breed like Catholic rabbits. But okay, we're getting hung up.
But
Scott Lang.
They breed like Catholic rabbits that were told by their parents to not do it. So the taboo is there.
So Scott Lang drives. No, he took his van. He took his ugly ass brown van all the way from California to New York.
California.
Drives it to New York, and he's honking at the fucking front door. Hey, it's me.
Captain America is like,
Hey, this is a
is
recording.
that from a flashback? And Natasha is like, no, that's the plot.
I demand to be in this movie.
No, and he goes in. and
Please
he's like,
let
okay,
me join the cool
guys,
kids.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was stuck in what's called the quantum realm. Time and space and rules are completely messed up
I
over
love
there.
what they do with time travel in this
D-
movie.
Is anyone gonna eat that sandwich?
I'm hungry. Nom, 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 nom.
It was a fucking peanut butter jelly sandwich that
Natasha.
Black
No, it
Widow
was
made
just
for
peanut
herself.
butter.
She was
Oh,
going to
peanut
throw it
butter
at
sandwich.
Captain.
that she made for herself. He's like, thank you. Okay, so you guys say it's been 5 years.
To me,
for me, it was like 5 hours.
Because, listen, quantum physics, blurger, deus ex, blurger. Wait, are you
Basically.
telling me that, yes, we can bahurgle this burgle?
And then we
No.
can durgle the hurgle durgle.
But wait, we need a genius mind. How genius? Like realistic? No. We need comic book genius. Oh, you mean a wizard?
No,
now-
our wizard's gone, so
Shit, what do we get that is close enough? Cut to, ironically enough, the only character that took Captain's advice and moved on. Tony Stark is, ironically enough, better off than anybody else in this movie.
Now, before you get to that, I do want to interrupt and mention this.
What?
It is a historical fact. Not all movies, but in some movies, when they introduce the idea of time travel for the plot, it usually
goes to shit in a second.
Yes.
Like the second you introduce time travel and you don't basically define it like carefully enough, the plot of your movie runs the risk of running into a snag known as suspension of disbelief. And if you fuck that up, nobody will care what the movie has to say.
actually, didn't they go to try to find Bruce Banner first before going to Tony?
no. First they talk to Tony.
First is Stark.
Right.
And we see that Tony, also, I find it kind of sad the fact that, now mind you, they don't state this, but the fact that Tony looks at them when they arrive implies that this is the first time he's talked to them in those 5 years. And the implication seems to be that after he woke up from his induced coma, he basically just grabbed his shit and left. Probably didn't even say goodbye.
Go.
Grabbed his shit, grabbed Pepper, and left.
So he and Pepper have been living in a cozy, idyllic cabin in the woods with his lovely little daughter. What's her name?
Morgan.
Who
The
is
farm that he promised to build her.
fucking adorable.
No, dude. Do you remember in Infinity War, he was saying like he had a dream that they were going to have a kid.
And
That
build
they
a
named
farm.
it after his eccentric uncle named Pepper's
Morgan.
eccentric uncle named Morgan.
Well, there we
Because
go.
Morgan could be for a boy or for a girl.
Also, this implies that Morgan, the uncle, is probably gone too. So we see
Probably.
that Tony has, ironically enough, taken Steve's advice, despite not talking to him for 5 years, and he's moved on. He's happy. He's like, hey, it sucked, but we are here now. We gotta make do.
Like, no, I'm holding on to what I have left.
I don't want
like
to
you
be
said.
part of this plot, but Tony, we need you to be part of the plot. You are like the face of
No.
Marvel.
How
No,
about-
I don't want to. Fuck off.
How about I have my happy ending? I'm married to Pepper. I have a child. I can have a life of my own and not have to ever worry about you fuck faces again.
I love the
now,
fa-
if you want to actually come in, I'll have Pepper set a table for all three of you guys.
As long as we're not talking work.
But if you want to talk work, there's the front door.
I love the fact that that Steve cannot argue against that. He's like,
It's worse.
no, shit, he's right.
No,
Fuck.
it's worse. Tony and Steve. Steve's like, but Tony, we have a second chance. Tony picks up Morgan
And goes,
over his shoulder.
I have my second chance. It's right here. And Steve looks at him like, he's got me.
Shit.
I can't,
Yep.
like, if I had a second, like, theoretically speaking, if I had a second chance to go back to the love of my life, I would certainly take it. So I can't really argue against him. Boy, I sure hope this doesn't come back for me. And Scott is like, guys, I still don't know what's going on. What do we do? How do we solve the problem? We need a genius. We need a super genius.
Yeah, because
Hi, guys.
Scott.
Hey,
Yeah, because Scott Lang came into the movie and Stark wants to be out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Scott wants to be part of the plot. Stark wants to get the hell away
From the plot.
So-
he is rejecting the call to adventure in the worst fucking way.
No, this is the best fucking way because he's perfectly justified. Of all people in the world, you cannot fault Tony Stark from going, I did my part. I have my reward here. Leave me alone. I don't want to do this. Like, Juan, let me put it this way. If you went through a lot of shit, and then you ended up marrying KStorm like you did in real life, and having a kid like you did in real life.
Yeah.
And we had a fallout. And one day I just basically kicked down your door going, Juan, grab your gun. We gotta go back to war.
How about fuck you? No.
But Juan, the war.
How about fuck you no?
Fine, jeez. Like, as a person, you understand where Steve is coming from. But as a father, you understand where Tony's coming from.
Exactly.
Like, will you throw away everything you built for 5 years and the happiness you finally obtained for a really, really narrow chance at saving the world?
Am I going to risk losing it because we accidentally undid everything?
Like, he
that
doesn't
was his
want to.
one concern. Like, okay, you want to talk time travel? We could talk time travel. There's only one problem. We're gonna undo everything that I've gained, and I'm not gonna take part in that. So fuck you.
Please don't tell me that your plan to save the world banks on your knowledge of Back to the Future. No. Okay, thank God, because otherwise I would have to call you a moron.
No, it gets worse.
Back to the Future gets some flack in this one, doesn't it?
It does.
But it's well
ribbing.
intended.
It's good ribbing.
It's good ribbing. It's like, okay, the Russos are poking fun at Robert Zemeckis and at Bob Dale.
I kind
and
of wish
Steve
there was
Spielberg.
a Dr. Brown cameo somewhere in there. Just
Great Scott!
No, but you
But I
could get a
think-
Dr. Banner.
Yes, we do. We get no, not just a doctor.
No, we get a Dr. Hulk.
We get Professor Hulk.
Hulk.
He earned that degree. Thank you very much.
You're right.
He has like 7 PhDs or something.
Yeah.
So we see that
Yeah.
Banner, after basically coming to terms with himself, became Professor Hulk. Not quite as strong as the original Hulk, but certainly a lot smarter and able to. He's become a hero to the people.
Calmer.
The people love the Hulk.
People love the Hulk now. He's getting selfies.
People come
He's
to me
eating
asking
at
to do
diners.
dabbings.
He's eating at diners.
Like, do you see
in
how much
public.
food he had? That was like a plate of like dozens of pancakes.
They're in like a
dozens of
fucking Waffle House. Or
several
something.
crepes, a whole bucket of like scrambled eggs, and like another big plate of nothing but sausage rolls. I want that food.
When I first
I
saw
want
it, I
that
was
food,
just
bitch.
like
What do you
so
think?
confused. I'm like,
Also,
it's
I
Hulk.
cannot believe they did the thing that. Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
What
Take
thing?
it.
No, I was just saying,
Say
like,
what thing?
the confusion is just like, he's the Hulk, and yet he's talking like regular Bruce.
I
He's
know.
Bruce, but no, he's Professor Hulk. He's
I
actually
know,
no.
I
He
know.
said like
I'm wearing
I
shirts now. It's weird, isn't
No,
it?
he literally said like I spent 18 months at the Gamma Lab in the Avengers compound trying to figure out the balance on this stuff, and I'm realizing I've been treating the Hulk like a separate thing, but he's actually a part of me. That's why he wouldn't come out, because it's a part of me that didn't want to come out. So I just reincorporated. He sounds and half of his speech sounds a little slower, a little bit, because like
Yeah.
it's like he's got all of Bruce Banner's knowledge and vocabulary and all, but Hulk dumb. I'm sorry, Hulk dumb.
can't do vocal cords right.
So his
I always thought that
manner of
was because he was
speech is a
basically
little.
kind of zen. Like he's
I,
reached.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
He's enlightened himself. He's like, I come to terms with myself, and I'm gonna help you guys. See, I like this. Normally, when it comes to comic books, and admittedly, this is a fault of the writers because it's hard to write a smart character.
Yeah.
The only way to write a good character smart is if you're smart yourself. It's hard to write a genius because they use that as a shorthand for let's get a genius to solve the problem. And the movie didn't do that. We got Banner, but Banner clearly doesn't know what he's doing with this. He's like, I kind of have an idea what I'm doing here, but I'm basically winging this shit.
Like I'm bumble fucking through this. Okay.
That's like saying
Sounds like
you need
everybody
a car repairman. I repair motorcycles. The concept is similar, but unless your thing needs 2 wheels, this ain't gonna work right.
Like, so they actually go through a couple of tests with a what do you call it, with a quantum suit. that Ant-Man brings along, and while they're discussing this shit, they're actually trying to calibrate it all properly. Like, okay, let's give it a shot. 3, 2, and you have Ant-Man go through the quantum tunnel in the back of his van
And
comes back out.
He becomes Disney.
Ant-Boy.
He becomes Disney's Ant-Man for the TV series that never was.
Ant-Boy.
And boy.
Guys, what's going on? Why do I feel like I'm reaching puberty all over again?
Okay, let's fix this. Okay, let's get it back. And we have senior citizen Ant-Man. Like,
Oh, damn it!
this is shit. Oh, okay, no, okay, too old.
Where's
too
my
old.
retirement money?
All right, let's bring him back.
Okay, that's weird. Shit.
It's a
That's
baby.
too
It's an
young.
ant.
So we bring him back to normal, and Bruce is like, hey, we know it works, it's just not working properly. And Captain
But
is like,
no, that-
His response is like, I think somebody peed in my suit, and I think it might have been baby me.
Or
Old man
me.
me.
or just me.
Or just me.
Hey, as far as I can tell, this is like Hulk is like, this is progress. We're doing, and Steve is like, oh man, we are so fucked. Meanwhile, Iron Man invents time travel by accident.
No, so well. Like, he's
Oh
like,
yeah,
okay,
one night he's at his house. He's
like,
just
That's the worst part, bro. They put the idea in his head, and he just can't let that shit go.
As it happens with Tony Stark, you put an idea in there, and he will keep turning it over until he figures
Okay,
out
let's
a
try it.
solution.
He turned it over. He took the quantum tunneling effect and he put it together in itself and wrapped it in like a fucking Penrose coil of some
I
kind.
love the fact that when he finds out that it could work, he just sits down and goes, shit! Because he was fully convinced, it's like, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna shut this off and go to bed with my beautiful wife. Oh, fuck the plot.
What's worse is
fucking
Morgan
duck.
catches him. He's like,
It's like, shit. Don't say that.
Why didn't you say it?
Because I got a lot of shit in my mind right now. Oh, Jesus Christ, stop that.
all right, you know what? Okay, you know, baby, I'm just gonna tuck you into bed. All right.
Man, Pepper is the
No,
most
he- no,
understanding
he
wife in
tucks
the
her
universe.
No, he tucks her. He's like, okay, baby, listen, we're gonna keep this whole language thing between us. Okay, Daddy.
But I'll sell all your toys.
No, I love you very much. I love you too. I love you more. I love you 3,000.
3,000, that's quite
That's
a
a
number.
lot.
Also,
Wow. Okay,
so
what is like Russell on your toys?
it's not a competition, Pepper, but she says she lost me 3,000. You are somewhere in the 600, 700 range.
And she's
I swear to God, Pepper Potts is the most understanding wife in the universe.
for many years.
like
Pepper
the
has.
shit that woman has to put up with.
I know.
She had to deal with Tony for how many years?
before he
Before
became-
marriage?
Except when he was Man-Whore Stark.
Yeah.
And for a good while,
how's your
Pepper
man?
has been trying to get Stark to hang the boots per se.
Yeah, and they hung the boots.
She's
They
like,
hung-
my inability to make you do, like, actually stop doing heroic shit has been the one failure in my entire life.
No, like her,
Yeah.
she's like, so what you up to? Well, I think I invented time travel. What?
She recovers from that in like a second, like, okay, sure.
Oh no!
Like, what do? I think the plot found me. Shit.
I didn't mean to. I'm too smart.
So, of course, this marks more or less the end of the first part of the movie. The first part of the movie has been basically, the heroes lost.
Yep.
We tried our best. We fucked up. Thanos is dead. Doesn't change a damn thing.
How are we gonna cope?
We're going to make a second movie. It's called Time Heist.
No, hashtag time heist.
Hashtag
Time
time.
high.
No, yeah, guys, this movie is basically
Oh my God.
3 movies into one. Each one is like an hour long. Yeah. So the first part was
Jose's trying to concuss himself with the microphone.
the sadness of
Please
failure.
don't.
And here we have Scotland going, guys, let's do a time heist. We're going to basically, okay. We don't have stones. We're going to go to specific points in time, get the stones, make our own gauntlet, and just undo this bullshit.
Angel, you kind of skipped ahead of the reconciliation scene between Stark and Cap.
I can
They
hardly
reconcile.
call that
They're
a...
getting there.
Oh.
no, yeah,
they
totally.
reconciled
They're still trying to
before.
figure they're still trying to figure out the quantum travel. It's like, and Rhodey. No, fucking Rhodey of all people.
Poor
Like,
Rhodey.
guys, why don't we just go back in time, find baby Thanos,
And
and
just- And the Hulk is like...
First, that's horrifying.
And I love Ronnie's reaction. It's Thanos. Like, it's like killing Hitler.
Okay, you don't kill baby Hitler, because if you kill baby Hitler, then there's no Hitler in the future, and then we don't have anything to go back, and then Hitler wins.
I love that. Like,
And
I
what
love
if-
how they...
And what if and I hate this particular justification, but it makes complete sense. What if in killing Hitler, one of the kids that
Isn't Hitler.
that survived because Hitler did not do the Holocaust was 20 times worse than him.
Yeah.
That's in the.
No justification.
So
at
here's
all,
when
but
the-
it's the
Here's when the movie lays down their rules of time travel. Like the rules of time travel, according to this movie, are Back to the Future is bullshit. Like I love that Scott and Rodney are going through like a list.
Rhodey!
And Rhodey are going through like a list of time travel movies, except Die Hard. That doesn't count, Scott. And Hulk is like, no, guys. Here's how it works. You cannot undo the reason why you travel back in time because cause and effect still apply. If you try to go back in time to undo the reason you go back on time, it won't work. Your past, you can change, but your present and your future, they're still happening. We're going back. They introduced the idea of divergent timelines. We're going to go to this possibility and grab it. And that possibility, and like go to different locations, then we're going to go back to our own location.
Wait a minute. Hold on. When we know now that the space stone was the Tesseract, right?
Yes.
And
The Mind-
Loki had the scepter that has a Mind Stone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we now know that the Time Stone was in New York too, right?
Yes.
Guys, we have one point in time where we can get all three of the 6 stones.
Awesome. And a fat dude in shades in the corner goes, "That sounds like your opinion, mortal."
No. God,
Oh,
they
we
picked up
forgot to
Thor
cover the big
Lebowski.
Thor.
Oh, yeah,
Lebowski.
son. So
rewinding.
KStorm?
Hulk and
let's just make it short on this one. New Asgard is a fishing town on the
In
snow
Scotland.
side of the Scotland coast. Things are not looking good for the boss of New Asgard. Thor he had it rough. And in a surprisingly realistic explanation of how depression works, he's turned to eating to cope with his trauma,
And
and he's
drinking.
lost his
Yep.
heroic physique. He's become flabby and dependent, and the mere mention of Thanos' name leaves him quivering with, admittedly, fairly justified fear. The point is, Thor is not in a good place right now.
No, he spends his days when his friends.
Korg and Meek are
Now
playing
listen to
Fortnite.
me,
When-
new Master 69. This is Thor, the God of Thunder.
Yeah,
You hear me?
when shit like that happens and these little noobs on these games are
Traitor
talking
shitpost.
shit,
This is the greatest
he gets
tragedy.
on there and talks shit back to defend his friends.
This is the greatest tragedy of Thanos' actions. The
Fucking
fact that
Fortnite.
Fortnite is the only game left.
Fuck you!
All the good game companies were gone. Platinum Games, gone.
Did we ever get Death
Capcom,
Stranding?
Kojima was gone too.
No!
In fact, he probably banished right before he was going to finish the game. So the project just languished unfinished for years until the files corrupted and disappeared.
But it's okay, guys.
But
Because
that's
not
what
all
happened to Final Fantasy VII too.
guys, not all
Exactly.
game
God.
developer companies are gone. I mean, maybe Ninja Theory survived.
Get this motherfucker!
DMC5 is DMC. The
You
other
asshole.
DMC5 is coming out in like a week. Now with extra fuck you. So yeah, Thor is he's in a bad place. He's just drinking and basically driving himself into a coma in hopes to. Also, considering here's the scariest part though. Thor is old. He's like a millennia something old, right?
It's 1,600 years old,
So
roughly.
to him, these 5 years are basically like a week of going on
The
a bender.
worst summer vacation he's
The
ever
worst
had.
summer
Ever.
vacation he ever had. So he gets more or less dragged or convinced by Rocket Raccoon to go because, hey man, we got beer on the ship.
Also,
What kind of beer?
he's not the only one that needed to be brought back into the movie. As we cut to Tokyo to Japan, where yeah,
So Hawkeye didn't take the events that happened very well. In fact, he kind of went batshit crazy and became Raiden from Revengeance.
yeah, seriously, it's like what is he trying to do his own spin-off show on Netflix where it's Hawkeye rated R?
Yeah, we cut back to Hawkeye, the Netflix show, where he's become Ronin and he's just running around blade moding bitches until Natasha is like, dude, we can fix the problem. And I love what they did with Hawkeye because the man is just broken. The moment Natasha just goes, don't give me hope. Like, I'm done, man. And I love what his philosophy is like, the rest of the world got Thanos. You got me. Because in his point of view, if people like his family get to disappear, why are criminal scum like this are still around? I'm going to basically help Thanos clean the universe with my sword on somebody's throat.
Basically.
Hawkeye,
Motherfucker.
sorry, he's called Ronin now.
Ronin.
He's not in a good place.
No, he's not.
Actually, nobody's in a good place for most of this movie.
But Natasha brings him in.
Natasha is like, come on, dude, we can fix the problem. And Hawkeye is like, okay, let's do it. And they tested on him, and we see that it works, and he's just running to see his family, and just, nope, can't touch them. Can't talk
That's
to them.
after that's after Tony finally came back.
Yeah, Tony's like,
they,
okay, listen. You're still an asshole, and your friend Bucky owes me a new armor. Well, that's okay. You owe my friend Bucky a new arm. I owe him a lot of things. But here's a shield.
I polished it for you.
I polished it for you, and here's the plot coupon.
What the hell is a plot coupon? No, it's my awesome.
It's gonna
wristband.
solve the problem, okay? And Steve is like, so does that mean that we are friends? No, but it means I'm gonna work together with you. We're going to bring them back. We're not going to undo anything of what we got because I'm not gonna lose what I gained just so you can get back what you lost.
Exactly.
That's bullshit. And Steve is like, you know what? Fair
I can
enough.
live with that.
I can live with that. And we get this awesome before the Hulk trip. We get the fact that Scott Lang is once again. I love the fact that while everybody's doing the plot thing, Scott is in a corner trying to desperately get a taco to hold itself together.
War Machine flies in, blows the fucking taco away.
Like tacos, and Nebula comes in like there's an idiot on the driveway, and Scott is like, "Come on, man!" And then Hulk comes in and goes,
Professor Hulk.
"Hey, man, have some tacos."
Oh,
And I'm like, that is oddly heartwarming. Like, once again, Scott Lang is the one guy that hasn't seen the movies. He's like, I don't know what the guys are talking about here. I just want to eat some lunch.
Like, I just came up with the idea, and I've got some of the gear, and I know a little bit, but...
Like, I'm still dealing with the fact that the love of my life is dead, and even the ex-wife that I got along with is dead.
And my in-laws that might be around, they're dead.
Like,
and my daughter's a planter's
I actually
jar.
like the guy who married my ex-wife. He was a cool dude. We went out bowling, and we had a few beers. Also, I lost my Spanish sidekick.
Wait, Luis was dusted?
Why do you think he's not there?
Oh, my God!
Think about it. Probably one of the first things Scott did was run to the agency where Lewis was working to go, Lewis!
Where the fuck? Oh, no!
Lewis
Damn,
and his band of stereotypes are gone.
we focused too much on the main Avengers. We never took into account of how
Like-
much Ant-Man lost.
It's easy to forget. Ant-Man, Scott had it rough. Like, to him, it's like, oh, man, those were some annoying 5 hours. Where's everybody? What the fuck do you... Oh, Jesus Christ. What an old... I had to watch how many movies to know what's going on?
All right.
So, cutting back to it. Okay,
So now they're
we
gonna
invented
fix
time
it.
travel. It is time for the time heist. We're gonna-
Hashtag time heist.
Hashtag time heist. Okay, so
Basically.
Ant-Man, Tony, and Steve are going to the Avengers 2012.
And the Hulk.
And the Hulk. They're going to the Avengers 2012.
Yep. where they're going
War
to try
Machine
collect
and Nebula are going to Guardians of the Galaxy
1.
2014.
Thor and Rocket Build-A-Bear are going to Asgard during the events
2013.
of
Thor: The Dark World.
No one cares about that movie.
Oh, no!
I love the fact that
The Russos are going to make you care.
I don't know, because they certainly did. I love that Thor was like, okay, so let me explain what happened. And then he just segues, his train of thought derails into the ocean.
Like, okay, the reality stone is not really a stone; it's more like a
It's more
liquid,
like
and
this
you know,
weird goopy, and
it
it
was
went
in my
Sam alone.
girl.
She's
But
not
she's
my
not
girl
my girl
anymore.
anymore.
So that's really a point of the law. You know, real life is kind of like this. Sometimes I love, like,
Like,
Oh
oh
my
my
God,
God, Thor,
Thor.
focus!
Rhodey and Scott are looking at each other like,
What the fuck is happening with this guy?
I don't know. I love the fact that Rhodey found like a friend in Scott and like, we like sci-fi movies and we are basically the only two people with common sense in this entire team.
Pretty much.
Great, bro. Great.
And
Great.
Ronan and Widow went off to Vormir in Avengers Infinity War.
No, not in Infinity War. They also go in 2014 with Nebula and War Machine.
Now this is what is going to
never
get
mind,
weird.
sorry.
Yeah.
So get ready
There's
for
no need to
fan
go for
service
Infinity War.
hell
Okay.
as flashback scenes from every single movie you ever seen just come at you at high speed. And okay, let's get one thing straight, people. This is the most fuck you if you didn't see it before movie in the world.
Basically.
I'm not going to narrate everything that happens in all these shenanigans, but events are happening here that if you haven't seen any of the other movies, I'm sorry, KStorm, you were saying something?
I was actually going to counter his. He couldn't go to an Infinity War because if they went there in Infinity War, they would have had to fight Thanos directly to get the stone.
Right,
They
right,
got dropped
right.
earlier.
I was thinking.
So, this is the biggest. If you didn't see it, your problem. You notice that characters barely call each other by name?
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon gets mentioned twice. When we go to the Avengers section, we see the Master, played by what's her name?
No, not the Master, the ancient
The
one.
ancient one, basically fighting
Doctor
invaders,
Strange.
keeping her place. She doesn't get mentioned by name. We're never told who she is, why she can do the things she do, why does she have the time stone, how does she know about Doctor Strange? Nothing. You are expected to know who this is. If you didn't see Doctor Strange, your fucking problem. We are not going to waste our time explaining what's happened. The Hulk is here to explain how things are not gonna happen. Because she points out like, hey, if you take the stone, you leave my timeline with no stones. And he says, but what if we use the
hear me
beam
out.
particles to come back the moment we left it? Like, we're going to take them, and from your point of view, I'm going to show up 1 second later and give it back to you. That way, the alternate timelines will not be created, and the main timeline will remain as it is.
And she even explains to him, like, okay, look, you're making sense,
But it's too much of a risk.
It's too much of a risk. No, listen, we have to do this. Doctor Strange doesn't have the time stone anymore.
He
and
gave it to
to
us.
Thanos. Wait, what?
He gave it to Thanos. He's like,
No, he gave no. Shut up and wait. You mean to tell me Doctor Strange voluntarily handed the time stone to Thanos willingly?
yep.
Yes.
But why? I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay, see, here's the thing. He's supposed to be the greatest of all of us.
The Sorcerer
The
Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme. If he did this, he's got a plan.
He must
okay,
have.
you can have it.
Have the green
No,
marble of
either-
apple flavors.
Either he
Yeah.
made a mistake
Or
or
I
I
did.
did.
Essentially going, okay, this is bigger than even the likes of me, the Ancient One. So you better bring this
Yeah.
back.
All right,
You
go
better
ahead,
bring
go
this
take
back. So we get the stone.
We tell everyone if anyone needs a piss break on this show.
So KStorm is going to go expel her Mind Stone from between her legs.
Now, how?
Dude,
but how?
Fuck you.
It's yellow.
Yeah, and it's up. Hang on, I want to cut to this right now. And
Ow.
then we go to
Asshole.
how they acquired the Mind Stone, and it's all up to Captain America.
Yes.
And
it
the
is-
way it's done, it's so awesome.
So it takes place
Also, at the same time.
moments after the finishing action scene of the Avengers, where Loki is like, "Hey man, oh yeah,"
If I have that
with a
drink.
cameo from Tom Hiddleston. It's like, I would like to take the drink now. So we get to find out very important things. First off, the Hulk doesn't like the stairs, and second, that is America's ass.
Yeah, no, what do you call it? No, like Tony and Ant-Man are sneaking to Avengers Tower. And he's like, Cap, I gotta tell you that uniform does not do any favors for your ass.
And Scott is like,
being
"Hey now,
as far
no
as
word,
I'm
Captain. You think you look great. As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass."
like, oh god.
And Hulk is like, "Hulk, go down the stairs." "Bro, I don't wanna." "Go down the stairs, Hulk. Weight
what-
limit." "Fine."
grumble, stairs.
I love the fact that Hulk has super stamina, so he doesn't get tired nearly as easy as
He's
anybody
just
else.
annoyed.
But the stairs still, he actually goes, "Oh." Because
After he gets to,
he
like,
could
the
just
floor.
jump, but he's actually making an effort to go down, the,
Right.
fucking-
and he looks down and he sees there's like 50 more floors, like,
Okay. So
Alright, and then-
all this while,
Yeah.
like,
the shield agents
Shield
are rather
agents show
Hydra
up.
agents.
No, not just any Shield agents. You have Brock Rumlow. You have Agent
Crossbones.
you
No,
get
yeah,
the
Jasper
bald
Sidwell.
dude that gets killed in Winter Soldier.
all the Shield agents that were really Hydra. They show up like, okay, we'll take him from here. We'll go ahead and grab
way-
this artifact. Like,
The way they put that joke in there, Jesus Christ.
okay, it's beautiful.
I'm gonna give you guys some context
They-
when you're done with this part. You're
They-
gonna love this.
Okay, they go down the elevator. Captain Rogers stops him midway in the elevator. He's like, "It's all right, folks. I've got it from here. I'm sorry, Captain, but Secretary Alexander Pierce has us personally taking care of this. It's all right, gentlemen. I have this under control." Hail Hydra.
And they just give
And
So-
at that point, I was expecting another elevator fight
Me
scene like from
too,
the Winter
Because they
Soldier.
frame that's what
exactly
these
the
assholes
same,
did.
doesn't it?
These assholes, the fucking Russo brothers, framed the elevator and everyone's positions exactly like in the Winter Soldier elevator fight.
Well, to be fair,
so we were expecting an elevator fight.
We are repeating.
Idiots.
I love the fact that see, this is what we call.
And then Hail Hydra.
This is what I called a genuinely good case of subverting expectations. You know what you're expecting, but you get something even better. And yes,
It is so much worse too.
for those of you who don't know, yes, that is basically a blatant pun at that moment in the comics where Captain did the same thing, except that it was genuine, so nobody liked it in the comics.
Now-
it was later revealed that it was a ruse, but nobody knew at the time, so everybody pretty much talked some mass shit about that volume.
Now, getting back to the movie plot, while it is a really, really smart idea for Cap to play it off as if he's part of Hydra, I'm pretty sure he's going to be hitting himself for that.
no, especially after when
No,
he gets.
he was hitting himself after he walked onto the catwalk and found himself on the other side.
His 2012 Avengers in the spangly
I
outfit.
got eyes on Loki. I'm gonna take him in. I don't want to do this. Yes, you do, motherfucker. So the Virgil fight versus Virgil fight happens.
Shield against Shield.
I can do this all day.
Yes, I
yeah,
know.
yeah, I know. I love the fact that Captain has become so jaded by the events that he's basically taking the piss out of himself. It's like, Jesus Christ, is this what Tony had to deal with every time I talk to? Oh, fuck me.
Like, wow, I'm such a tool.
I
can't
hate
believe
myself.
this. Oh.
Oh, I'm gonna have to beat
that
this
is
man with
America's
emotional
ass.
blackmail. So what
It's
that?
worse. He's got him on a chokehold.
So-
They both fall like a million stories off of glass ceilings because apparently Tony doesn't believe in OSHA compliance when building the Stark Tower.
To be fair, there was a catwalk there with rails, but you have the body of Captain America go against a rail. Captain America's ass is gonna win.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they land at the fucking ground level. The scepter's out of the briefcase and shit.
And oh shit, the other captain is winning.
And he has to use a fucking trump card of his own. Bucky still alive.
What?
What do you mean by that?
Winter Soldier is an awesome movie. Wait,
What's a
really?
Winter Soldier?
You're gonna fight Tony Stark in the future? No shit. Snape kills Dumbledore.
What?
No.
I'm gonna punch you in the jaw now.
Unfortunately,
you're not. Oh,
that last spoiler was enough of a distraction to put him down with the Scepter of Destiny. And we get something very strange here. Okay, so I understand that Marvel movies, they like to promote their own products. It's kind of the thing they do.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting them to promote a Netflix series right off the bat.
Right, because
The beginning of the Loki series basically happens here, if I'm correct.
Yes, it is confirmed that when Loki took the Tesseract, it created a brand new timeline.
Okay.
It has
Angel,
been
you
confirmed.
segued into the Tesseract
Guys,
thing on
because
purpose.
I don't want to
didn't you?
narrate everything. People already know what happened.
All right, so basically, as they were bringing Loki down, Hulk comes out the stairs. No more serious distraction. Okay, and Ant-Man goes inside Tony's arc reactor, gives him a minor heart attack. Loki steps away. The Tesseract gets brought out of the briefcase, and he zips out of there.
Zippity zoop zap.
And so that's fun. Okay,
So we're
they
like,
lost the
well, we
Tesseract.
fucked up.
Okay,
we gotta
got
get another
2
Tesseract.
out of the 3 stones. Good start. What the fuck do we do now?
Hang on, I have an idea. We got more pink particles. Let's go to a place that has more pink particles.
No, you can't do that. We'll die. You won't be able to come back.
No, trust
Listen.
me. I know what I'm doing. We're going to go even further back into the flashbacks.
What the fuck do you mean further back?
Don't worry, you were not in that movie.
There's
Don't worry
one
about it.
place where there will be both the Tesseract and,
And
more
the
of him.
juice.
Particle.
They gotta go a few levels down in Inception,
We're
and then when
going
they're
to
done, they use the
1950
kick.
something.
Smack that man.
1970.
Guys, smack that man.
So back
Thank
to
you.
1970, where basically we get.
Shut up.
You see, I was expecting Heist. I wasn't expecting feels because while Captain is looking through a window at the things that he can never have in his life.
Real quick, I have to give a minor segue, and I'm sorry about this. I lost the bathroom challenge at this scene.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right. You were there.
I lost my shit quite literally at the point when they went to 1970 and they went to the camp where Captain America trained. Another reference to Winter Soldier because the SHIELD headquarters was buried at the bottom of that camp with an elevator and shit.
Yep.
So,
He had that hippie beard on.
no, wait, who had a hippie beard?
Tony, you notice how they said it all the time in there?
Oh, God. No,
Because
I don't notice 'cause I
prejudice
wasn't there.
still existed in the 1950s.
Yeah,
wasn't
they
there, remember?
they
They
called
mentioned
it a
his
hippie
beard like he was basically a commie at that point. It was crazy.
Oh, God. And they're fucking trying to drive up there, and the one gentleman cuts him off in the road, and he's basically telling them, hey, buddies, make love, not war.
man.
And with a
And
little
that was
over second
the,
saying, enough said.
the glorious last cameo of Mr. Stan Lee. Thank you for everything you have done for us. Let us take a moment of silence to celebrate the legacy of a man who made all of this possible. So,
Excelsior.
speaking of more feels, Tony Stark is okay. I got the MacGuffin. I got the things. I got to go. Nothing could stop me now except Walt Disney.
It's not Walt Disney.
It's totally Walt Disney.
Yeah, you're right.
Starkland is basically Disneyland. So we get this. That's the part that you missed, unfortunately. We get this very nice, feelsy moment of both men in the elevator and Stark. Let's be honest. We don't get to see much of Mr. Stark,
mean
even in the
Howard
movies.
Stark?
Howard. He shows up in flashbacks, briefly in the Captain America movies, but mostly he's just dedicated, focused to the work. Kind of an asshole, but charming asshole. And here the man lets the curtain down for a bit and goes, "Hey man, I'm about to have a kid, and sometimes I feel like this job, fighting for the greater good, is really taking away from my family." And in what might be the greatest moment of irony in the entire franchise, Howard Stark asks Tony Stark,
Tony Stark.
"How do you do it,
Howard.
man? How do you? Do children come with an operating manual or something?" And
No.
Tony's like, "Hey, man, my dad was kind of hard on me, but looking back, I only remember the good times." This is basically him forgiving his father for all the times that they didn't get along.
Closure.
And he's just going, "It's hard, it's difficult, and it's not gonna always work. You just gotta try to do your best and be there for your kid. And just if you raise them well, like Tony Stark is giving his own man fatherhood advice. It's the weirdest goddamn thing."
It is.
So he hugs him and lets him be, and we get to see a cameo from Human Vision before he became Purple Bettany.
No, you mean Edwin Jarvis, the original Edwin Jarvis, which is also a beautiful shout out to the Agent Carter show.
Yes.
So guess what? No, they didn't forget.
No, they didn't forget.
Guess
Thank
what, though?
God.
Fun fact. If you look carefully at Peggy's office where Steve goes in, the back of her door says Director.
Yeah, she's
So
Director Carter.
She's already Director
the head of
Carter
S.H.I.E.L.D..
was in the way of happening at this point. So, okay, we got the stone. Everything is fine. Meanwhile, War Machine is like, guys, I came back. Everything is not fine. Where the fuck is Nebula? Oh shit. So okay,
They got
you
the
know
power-
how
yeah, they got-
sometimes you share your Wi-Fi password with somebody, and that makes your computer completely fuck up because you're both looking at the same thing.
Yep.
So because this timeline has two Nebulas, this causes the biggest wrench in the works that the world has ever seen. Because now, because of original Nebula going, oh shit, my fucking kernel patch is freaking out. Thanos is like, run an antivirus scan on my daughter. Remove that Norton garbage.
Wait,
What is this? Oh, sir, this is a movie we're going to make several years from now, says the Ebony Maw, a.k.a. Squidward.
Yeah.
Squidward.
This means I win. But that means that somebody's trying to prevent me from winning. I love how Thanos isn't even bothered by the fact that his future self gets fucking decapitated. He goes, well, we
Destiny
saw there was
fulfilled.
destiny, and this is destiny fulfilled. I don't care if I die because I know I win. And believe it or not, I believe this is the turning point. A lot of people actually commented on the fact that the Thanos in this movie is a bit more comic book villainous. You know, he sounds more like an evil overlord. He sounds more imposing. His motivations seem more cruel and petty. And the truth is, it makes perfect sense because they are still the same Thanos. This is Thanos that knows that he's going to win and that knows that there's somebody out there trying to stop him from doing so. So he has the arrogance of the assured victory plus the desperation and anger of somebody out there could possibly stop me. So
Not
we're going to do some
stop.
shit.
Not stop.
Change what I did.
Undo what
Thank
I
you.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
So Thanos starts making his own plans, and we get to see that Nebula got a lot of fucking like play in this movie, didn't she?
A bit, yeah.
Yes.
Like Nebula got way more play than I thought she was ever gonna get, and I'm really happy because I love her
Evil
character.
Nebula from the past, but like
No,
current Nebula
like
also.
current Nebula, who's like, hang on, maybe I can turn my normal good Gamora sister to a better person, because I know that my other self is kind of a bitch.
Hopefully, Karen
Hopefully.
Gillan got double pay for appearing as two different Nebulas.
Double work.
So you see them stems. I'm so sorry. Oh
Oh
god.
God, those steps.
Now, during that time,
Them
they
legs,
did
nigga.
get the
Okay.
Power Stone. War
So we
Machine
get
did
the Power
Stone.
Stone, so at least that is out of the way. Meanwhile, Hawkeye and Natasha go into the greatest sensation that is sweeping the nation: suicide competitions.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
This
So
is
you
where-
know how the deal goes. We
They
get to
showed
the
up Vormir,
mountain.
Red Skull's air.
Hey guys, you gotta drop something. You gotta do the thing. And we get this moment where they're. I love the fact that they're sitting down, questioning the matter, and Hawkeye approaches Red Skull and goes, "Hey," and Red Skull is like,
What?
like, Red Skull doesn't talk. He's just looking at them, waiting for somebody to make a decision. And Hawkeye's like, "This is bullshit." Natasha, no, this is not bullshit. We gotta do this. And what follows is, I know this is tragic, but I was trying not to laugh.
What?
When they were trying to go, no, I'm gonna kill myself.
No,
I'm gonna kill. No, I hate myself more. No, I hate myself. Like, wow. Like, you want to talk about playing with my emotions?
Like it basically puts on the fact like, okay, it's an unwritten rule. They both love each other very much. They're the brother and sister they could never live without. They helped each other. He got her out of being a Soviet spy and being in S.H.I.E.L.D. She's helping him trying to get back with his family. There's love. It's not like, oh, sexy love. It's,
You know me,
It's
I know
fraternal
you.
love. It's
Tell me that all of you had the same expectation I did when they started fighting like that. They were both going to go down.
No, actually, I was expecting Hawkeye to genuinely succeed in his original suicide. When
They set
when
it
Scarlet,
up.
when she jumped
Black
after
Widow.
him, I'm like, I genuinely went, oh.
like, oh no.
Like that.
Oh no.
And the worst part is though, she forces him because she attaches her grapple hook to his waist and she's not hanging onto his hand. So she forces him to let go because either he lets go or they're both gonna die.
Yeah.
And nobody's
And
getting
they
the stone.
needed to complete their
And
fucking
then
mission.
we cut back to, also funny that Hawkeye doesn't get to see, the same thing that Thanos did. To him, it was just a flash and then he was just on the pool. I don't know what that means.
Thanos was more like immersed in the moment of I can't believe I'm doing this. I totally love her, but I'm doing the right thing. But Barton, Clint, Hawkeye,
Yeah.
he's like, God, oh God, oh God, oh God, shit.
Yeah.
No, Natasha, not Natasha. No,
And then he just
no.
wakes up in the puddle, and I don't know if this was intended, but I love how subtle this looks. Like, he lifts his hand, he looks at the stone, and the look on his face is pure disgust. Like,
I can't
you are not worth the shit I had to go
go
through.
through. I can't believe that.
And then
that
he just
my best friend in the whole
lays
universe
down,
dies
like,
for years.
I love that.
He
Like,
collapsed.
no crying, no screaming. His head just bows because it's like,
The
Yeah.
the job. Gotta
job.
get the job
Damn
done.
it.
So he comes back, and we get the sad moment where the Avengers are like, well, we're sacrificing now to win. So we gotta, like, even Hulk gets actually angry for a moment and goes, we gotta make this count. We gotta
make it
we gotta
worth
win.
it, man.
Let's make our own Infinity Gauntlet. Also, Tony Stark just invented an Infinity Gauntlet. Like,
No, here's the thing. If you take a look at how it was being built, it was being built with the same sort of memory metal system that built Vision.
Good point.
You saw the little like blue X-ray shit on it.
So
he built that to like the same way that Vision was made.
also,
Which
that's
is a
why
very-
it changed shape.
before
Which
we
is a
forget,
cool idea.
Before we forget, I like how once again Thor's depression is portrayed in a surprisingly realistic manner. When he goes back to the events of Thor: The Dark World to get the cherry coke,
Yes.
The cherry
he
Coke.
basically goes, "This is also the day my mother dies.
I'm freaking out.
I can't do this. I can't." And Rocket tries to put him back to his senses,
And then,
but it doesn't work because guess what? That kind of shit doesn't go away because of a single pep talk. It takes him
It's like they're going, and then Rocket looks back and is like, wait,
gone.
Where the hell?
where the hell's
I
Thor?
love the fact that it takes him talking to his mom, the wisest person in the world, to go, "Hey,
Queen Frigga.
it's cool."
Frigga.
Also, you know,
Thank you to Renee Russo.
it makes perfect sense
Yes.
that she's fine with dying because she's Asgardians. Our Guardians are huge on the whole destiny thing. It's like, this is my destiny to go. I will go, but you have a future to go back to.
It is-
So fix it up.
It's also,
Also, eat
canon.
a salad.
It's also canon that Frigga had visions given by the goddesses of fate,
That she
by
was
the
gonna
Norns.
die.
She always saw more than the normal person. She'd already seen her death, and
She made peace.
she saw what he was trying to do.
She was like, "Thor, is that you, son?" Yes, it's me. Wait, you're not my Thor. I
am your Thor.
You're from the future,
Like,
aren't you?
no,
of course.
no.
Yes,
No,
I'm from the future.
No, son. I was trained as to be one of the strongest witches in all the 9 realms.
You're not gonna lie to
you're-
me, darling.
Don't lie to me.
So not from the future. You try lying to your mom when she's being trained by the most powerful
All right.
witches of the 9
Mom, a
realms.
lot has happened to me. You know, I lost you. I lost Loki. I lost my hammer.
I lost
You-
Dad.
I
I
lost
lost
Dad.
my-
Also, did you know we had a goddess of? Did you know I had a sister?
Oh, you knew, didn't you? Look, that's not important right now.
More importantly,
I got a
mother,
cool axe.
But mother, more importantly, I lost my abs. Honey, that one's on you. Eat a salad. Like,
Dude,
also,
come on.
nice touch on the fact
No.
that even in his worst time, Thor
Not a
is
salad.
still worthy.
Yeah, no, like and all of this, and all of this because like she's actually telling like, okay, you like I'm realizing now that you lived your whole life trying to be the ruler of Asgard.
What
trying
would
to
you
be
were
the-
expected to be.
of what is expected you to be. We're always going to fail at what we're expected to be, but you will always succeed at being who you are.
My son.
You are my son, and you are a worthy man, and you're a good man. You're here for the right reasons. You don't have to be the big bad ruler of Asgard.
You can just
If
be
that-
my son.
And it's like a
He's
beautiful, like mom moment and shit. All
It's
the while,
actually kind of
Rocket-
nice.
And then Rocket's like, come on, Thor, gotta go,
Guys,
gotta go,
listen,
gotta go,
this is
gotta
all
go,
beautiful.
gotta go.
This is good and all, but I made the plot move forward. We gotta go. Meanwhile, a whole army is coming behind me. Catch that rabbit! Like, shit! I feel so bad for Raccoon. He's like, hey,
I'm not a raboon.
I'm happy that everything's going well here, but guys, I actually kind of I'm doing work. Can we get back to the work? So Thor gets the hammer and flies, teleports back
Like,
home.
yeah, he's like he reaches out and he winds up calling Mjolnir from out of nowhere, which means at some point in Thor: The Dark World, he doesn't have Mjolnir on him.
It's okay. That Mjolnir was probably like in a table somewhere, and 1 second later, it got put back.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he's like, I'm still worthy. I can't believe it.
So after all the
Yep.
Avengers return, another thing we need to uncover the nebulas, the nebula problem.
Right, so while the original Nebula got fucked up and is basically in
Yeah.
Nebula jail, the other Nebula staples a bunch of parts to her body and goes in to do some sabotage. But while that is happening, the Avengers are
Evil
like, okay,
twin.
Yep.
we got a MacGuffin. Who's gonna put on the MacGuffin? And Thor goes, hang on, time to fulfill my suicidal needs. And Hulk is like, wait. The
Yeah,
radiation
no.
of this thing kind of feels like gamma radiation.
No, it's
So,
heavily gamma.
Let me
radiation.
just put it on because I have a higher chance of surviving and just
He slips the iron gauntlet, I
and he
guess.
goes to this like, oh, it hurts so good. I mean, so bad. And then he does the snapping, and for a moment, nothing. And then you hear birds outside. And Hawkeye's cell phone, by the way, holy shit, what kind of cell phone plan is that?
Well, it's a good one. He's got a farm out there in the middle of nowhere.
So it worked. It actually worked. And the movie's over. Time for movie number 3.
Which has been affectionately labeled. I forgot the guy's name on YouTube. I'm gonna have to find out sometime because I saw another recap. It basically he labeled Act 3 as "Stop Genocidal Barney."
Pretty much. So the movie goes off with a bang.
Starts off with a bang.
Starts off with a bang where Thanos.
You
Oh, by the way,
hate me.
according to the explanation of the Russo brothers, you know how Nebula only got the evil Nebula got a little vial of pink particles?
Yeah.
They basically reverse engineer it using their space technology, which is how they managed to bring a whole warship inside.
Bullshit. Fuck you, Ebony
Dude,
Maw.
space technology. They can do
Yeah.
whatever.
Ebony Maw.
Thanos is swinging around shit that can destroy Captain America's shield,
We'll get
and
to
he
that.
can outfight the Hulk with his bare hands. Like, the dude has technology that he can do. Remember what Raccoon says. You are the genius here on Earth. There's greater things out there.
Happening out there. Yeah.
So Thanos arrives after reducing the Avengers compound to a hole in the ground with a lake on the side and a very beautiful vista.
Also, Hulk is
my
not
God.
feeling pretty
No,
well.
Hulk got fucked. And for those of you who
I
complain, the
mean,
reason why he wasn't healing is because his healing factor is tied to his anger. He needs to be like fucking
fuck
irrationally angry for his arm to start regenerating. That's why at the end of the movie, and I'm skipping ahead, we see his arm and it looks a little better, but it's still kind of fucked up. It looks at least it only looks like third-degree burns instead of wow, this is nothing but meat and bones.
Yeah, pretty
So shit's gone bad. The compartment is in pieces. Hawkeye is with the MacGuffin being attacked on all sides by those CG whatever the fucks from the Infinity movie.
And it all boils down to Thanos versus Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor.
Thanos shows up and goes, everybody, go give me my fucking jawbreakers. I'm going to sit here and wait for the final boss fight.
Basically.
And the final boss fight is glorious.
It's
All the good guys get together.
glorious.
Iron Man puts on the armor, and Captain grabs the shield, and Thor just goes, is that him? That's him. Let's kill him properly
this time.
And the
he has his
lightning
hands,
gathers.
both of his hands out. Stormbreaker on his left. Stormbreaker on
Mjolnir
his
on the
right.
left, Stormbreaker on the right.
He's being struck with Odin Force lightning. He's got his armor. His big fat bushy beard gets tied into a
proper warrior
A Viking's
braid.
braid.
And his hair gets pulled back into proper warrior hairstyle.
And everybody
it's
approaches
just like,
him,
oh.
And we get to see
He's
Thanos.
still fluffy, but he looks like a proper old school style
He
Viking.
looks like a good
He's
Viking.
Volstagging.
He's Volstagg. In
Yeah.
honor of Volstagg.
in honor
Thor.
of
In honor of
Volstagg.
Volstagg.
Thor the Voluminous.
Yes.
Thor the Voluminous.
So,
Now,
I love this part.
in
right here.
Infinity War, let's not mince words. No one stood a chance against Thanos because of the Infinity Gauntlet. But in this fight, without the Gauntlet, they stood half a chance.
He stand a chance, but don't forget, this is
in
the
it-
man that can outfight the Hulk.
In the thing is, in Infinity War, Thanos was the protagonist. He was the one supposed to win.
Now he's
know.
not the
Now
protagonist
he's
anymore.
not.
So I love this because we get to see
He
Thanos'
is not.
real nature here. He still sounds the same. He still talks in the same manner, but we get to see the true extent of his batshit insanity. See,
Batshit.
the fact that all these heroes are coming together to fight him, the fact that after everything he's done, they're still trying to stop him, and me and Juan talked about this. Thanos' entire deal is, remember what he said at the end of the Infinity War? I will retire and see the sun rise on a grateful new universe. This is the universe going, fuck you. No, I'm not grateful.
No,
We are not. That was a horrible thing you did and you deserve to die. And Thanos, being faced with the idea that his ideal is wrong, decides to double down.
he doesn't reflect on himself. He does okay, maybe there's a different way. No, he's
No.
like, no, my way works, and I'm gonna work it so
And the
hard.
worst part is, he's proving himself right. Why did Thanos destroy the stones? To avoid temptation. What does this Thanos do the second he finds out that they're going to disappoint him? Double down in an even more insane plan. He's going to rip the universe apart to the atoms, rebuild it again, but this time he'll just basically make it with half the resources anyway, and nobody will know. He'll make a perfect universe in his image.
where everyone worships his ass.
He will end quintillions of lives in a moment
Hexillions.
just to prove himself right.
Basically,
Yep.
as a neener, fuck you, I'm gonna press my ass against the window of the back
is the
seat
real
of the
Thanos.
car.
This is the Thanos once you take away the rose-tinted glasses that Infinity War ever so firmly pressed to our heads.
But maybe he has a point. No, he doesn't have a point. He's fucking crazy.
He
Thanos sounds-
worships death.
Thanos sounds
didn't go to that, but-
sympathetic. Thanos appears sympathetic. His motivations have an inkling of rationality to them. But this is still the same man that would kill his own family, raise planets to the ground, and wipe the universe apart just to tell them, I told you so.
I told you so.
Yep.
Exactly.
This is the most realistic portrayal of insanity I ever seen.
It's the thing of doing the same thing over and over and expecting a
the
different
same
result.
Well, I'm gonna
That's
double
the
down and do
definition
it
of
again.
insanity.
So I'm gonna do it again and double down harder. So yeah, guess what? For all of you out there who were, and I heard these complaints, they were complaining that Thanos seemed more generic villain-esque in this movie. No, this is how he's always been. He's polite and respectful and nice as long as he's winning.
As long
as
in
he's told that
control.
the chance of him to die. Oh, and by the way, I told this one. By the way, I found this according to the Russo brothers. When he did the thing in Infinity War,
The snap.
he included himself in it. The fact
What?
the fact that he didn't go to him was proof that he was being proven right by the universe.
Fuck you.
I was basically going, this is clearly the universe's way of telling me that I was right. Now I'm gonna go to the farm and eat space sweet potato for a while.
Oh, loses his
This
head.
is
Anyway.
here being told, no, you are wrong. And his reaction is, no, I am right.
No,
And I'm
you
going
are-
to kill as many people as possible until I am right. I cannot be wrong, and if there's nobody to tell me that I was wrong.
Motherfucker, he's like this piece. He's the worst piece of shit that I've ever heard in my life.
He's always been.
They didn't put in the one important thing from the comics.
What?
He worships Lady Death.
Well, yeah. But
Every death he causes
Is in her
is
honor.
a
Tribute.
sacrifice to her. Of course he's gonna fucking want to kill everybody if his initial sacrifice is rejected by the people.
Well,
Yeah,
mind
pretty
you,
much.
this is a different motivation, but it's more or less the same principle. You don't accept me. You're not grateful. This is how do I put this in terms like this? Hey, Juan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I killed your wife,
Fuck you.
No, how dare you?
but it's okay. You still have your son. You should be grateful.
You still killed my wife.
Well, clearly this didn't work. I guess I just have to kill everybody.
No.
Maybe I'll just make a new Juan.
No,
With
you
blackjack
don't
and
get to make a new
hookers.
one.
Like, this is literally what he's doing. Literally, I'm gonna kill half of your family. What do you mean that is not the best thing I ever done? I might as well kill you all and make a new family that will actually appreciate what I'm doing. And maybe if you appreciate what I'm doing in this house, you start paying some bills.
See this motherfucker? I'm gonna kick his ass.
No, that's
I'm gonna
certainly.
kick this piece
All
of
right,
shit
so,
ass.
All right,
so
I'm
getting
so-
back on
brain
point.
is
So
out.
while,
It is now boss fight time.
while Ronan is
Mad
dodging,
Titan. Thanos.
Dong.
while Ronan or Hawkeye is running with the MacGuffin, and the other Avengers are basically underwater or underneath the rubble. Yes, we have the fight, and it is a glorious fight.
And holy shit.
Tony gets nailed.
What a fight. Tony
Thor
gets fucking.
nailed.
No.
Cap gets nailed.
We get to see
Thor's
some
about
good
to die.
moments.
Cap gets nailed. What?
Nani? So everybody gets a
Cap
good showing.
summons Mjolnir.
Everybody gets a good showing at first. Iron Man with the supercharged armor and Thor with the batting action, but eventually they get brought down by Thanos, and we see Mjolnir lift. And I don't know you guys, but I knew that was coming.
I was just thinking like, wait,
I
what?
felt it in my dick.
Bum, bum, bum.
And he grabs it, and Thor goes, I knew it! And then
Because that is
Age of Ultron.
from all the way back in Age of Ultron when he made it wiggle. Did he actually, and it brings up the question, was he actually completely able to lift in that point in time, but only acted like he could only barely lift it to spare Thor's ego?
here's
Maybe.
my
We
idea.
don't know.
Here's my personal theory. He could have always lifted, but he didn't felt he was worthy. So the hammer just moved a little bit. Like, it's like, you can do it, you just gotta believe in yourself, man. So, Captain grabs the hammer and proceeds to perform every single combo I ever seen in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on time. Like,
Yup.
I'm like, dope, crazy, badass, awesome, smoking, sick, smoking,
stylish.
sexy, stylish. Just, holy
Like every
shit.
single video game combo you could ever have was thrown out. Chris Evans, you fucking beautiful angel man.
You
That
are
sweet
awesome.
bounce back between throwing the shield and throwing the hammer to bounce off the shield. Oh my god.
However, no matter how much effort was put into it, no matter how much,
think
I mean,
KStorm
crazy.
fried a circuit.
So Thanos, of course, is way too tough to handle that shit. So he eventually brings down Captain America, brings out his double-bladed bullshit video
His
game
helicopter
sword,
shield.
and starts smacking chunks of the damn thing. Also, you know what? Props to the shield. It took a blade made of cosmic bullshit metal, plus a dude hitting with
Wake
the
up,
force
KStorm.
of the Hulk to break it.
Yeah.
So Captain is
Sorry.
fucking taking the hits and bringing it down, and eventually he gets fucking hammered into the ground, and he's down for the count. And Thanos goes, okay, Normally, this shit ain't personal for me. But you just made it very personal. So I'm going to bring out my entire army of mooks, all of my children, and all of my dragons. And you know what? Thinking back on it, I probably should have opened that, shouldn't I? Hey, whatever. You know what? Hindsight is 2020. And he brings back
the Chitauri,
all
the
the shit
Sakaran
from
armies,
Infinity War
the
is
Black
now
Order,
here.
The fucking Outrider,
Yeah.
And
fucking
what does
Goro
Captain
Venom
America?
hybrids.
And what does Captain America do?
He restraps. He stands up. He restraps that
What's
shield.
left of the shield.
What's left of the shield?
And just walks ahead. And you see him taking a few steps.
He
And
says,
we
"No,
get
he
this beautiful.
He straps up as if
arm is
to
all
say,
fucked up.
"No, you move."
Like I love this shot they did there. That was something out of a fucking painting. You see the sunrise coming up, you see the water falling to the destroyed debris, and you see one man stand against an army and a god, essentially telling them, "Come at me, bro."
Yes.
That is the essence of Captain America right there, against all
No,
the
not
odds.
come at me, bro.
Yeah,
No,
You move.
I love the fact that Thanos looks at him like
You've
he's been
got
going,
balls.
"You got some cojones on you."
I respect that. I'm
I
still
res-
gonna kill you.
But respect. And then things are looking bad. Iron Man is down for the count. Thor is down for the count.
The other
The other
Avengers
good guys are trapped in the debris. Hawkeye is trying to not get himself killed. Oh yeah, we get Nebula kills past Nebula to save Hawkeye and Gamora. And because of the way Time Tower works here, she doesn't get fucking extinguished because that's just now another Nebula from another timeline, I guess.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Wow, I can't believe how fucking far Nebula has
Wibbly,
gone.
wobbly, timey.
No,
whatever.
I mean,
Yeah.
Multiverse theory's
Nebula
a
has
bitch.
achieved so much character development.
It's so
If she
sweet.
had taken herself out back in the past where she was, then she would have eliminated. But that Nebula coming forward created a new timeline for that Nebula.
Yeah, and more importantly, though, I love the fact that she even tried to talk her down because, hey, if I manage to do it, you can,
can't.
and the other one could not, unfortunately. So, because this one never had a time to get together with her sister during the events of Guardians of the Galaxy
1 and
2.
2. Yeah.
So they never got to reconciliate, unfortunately, but
Reconcile.
reconcile. So we got the gauntlet. The heroes are still trapped. The good guys are over here, and over there we got Dynasty Warriors Thanos edition. Shit's going bad.
Versus a single
The Black
kid
Order.
from Brooklyn.
A single kid from Brooklyn that just doesn't like bullies.
What do you think will happen?
But then,
Oh no!
Hey, Cap.
Sam,
On your left.
and the first portal opens, and the crowd begins to lose their shit.
We lost all
Oh,
the shit.
one of what I genuinely consider to be the greatest scenes in cinematic history, and another. The first portal opens, and comes out Doctor Strange, followed
Back
by
on
the other
the
Guardians of
Guardians
the
of the
Galaxy. And Quill is like, "Okay, I know I fucked up. I can make it right this time. I promise." And then
The
another
portal with what do you call it? With T'Challa, Princess Shuri, and General Okoye.
Chadwick
and behind
Boseman,
them,
the entire
Entire
Wakandan
Wakandan
army.
army.
And I
But
have-
wait, there's more.
There's
we
more?
have sorcerers showing up, Asgardians showing up. The Valkyrie is flying in on a Pegasus. Where the hell is she keeping that?
Fourth
thing?
space.
Where the hell did she keep that
No,
Pegasus?
but one
New
very
Asgard.
important little thing, along with the Guardians coming up, one lanky little kid in red, blue,
Swinging
and
in.
gold armor.
Hey guys,
Swing it in.
No,
am I in time for
God,
home?
dude.
Am I in time for the filming from Far From Home again?
Dude.
and right there you have T'Challa with the Wakandan army one more time, like in Infinity War. Yibam there!
Yibam
Bombay.
Yibam there!
Yibam
Bombay.
Yibam there!
Bombay.
And I have to say this, and I'm sorry, but I thought in my head that when he was chanting in the theaters, I thought that I was chanting along in my mind.
No, he was not. No, he was not. No, he was not.
there.
He was chanting
No,
right next
the
to me.
crowd was with you, dude.
Oh, fucking really?
Dude,
Yes.
no. Let me put it this way: the people started screaming and applauding the second portal one
One
opened,
opened.
and they didn't stop until more portals open, more people come out. Fucking Howard the Duck is in the background with a gun. Shit's bananas.
Like, you're in trouble. You pissed off Howard the Duck.
even
I know.
Thanos looking at the man and goes, "Huh."
I have to
Okay.
apologize, but
Not
when
expecting that.
like I thought I was doing it in my head, but when the King of Wakanda commands you to hold the line, you
Hold the fucking line.
And we got it. Everybody gets together.
dun, dun,
Tony
dun,
Stark
dun,
gets together.
dun, dun.
Pepper shows up
Pepper
with the
shows up in
rescue,
the rescue
armor.
armor.
And everybody's ready to fucking
dun,
go.
dun,
And then
dun,
Captain
dun,
lifts his
dun, dun,
hand,
dun, dun. No,
grabs the hammer,
Avengers!
grabs the hammer.
Assemble.
I love
What
how even
proceeds is-
the crowd in the theater went quiet for that moment. Everybody screams and just It's the war sequence. It's
It
just
is.
the war sequence.
We
beautiful,
lost
man.
our ever living shit.
Like,
I was
who was the
premature.
music designer for this movie?
Alan Silvestri.
Okay, the
He
man
came back-
basically going, okay, you tell me that I cannot beat the Avengers theme. Hold all of my beers.
Fun fact: Alan Silvestri was also the guy who made the musical score for the Back to the Future movies.
And of course,
Wow.
he did the
Yeah.
Avengers movie.
How much you want to bet he put those gags in there about the Back to the Future?
No,
So anyway, we have
just the big ass war.
Everybody's kicking ass. We got Ant-Man in the background going Attack on
Giant Man.
Titan on some dude like,
He's going giant man. He punches the Leviathan dragons.
We got
in
Tony and
midair.
Pepper lasering bitches. Spider-Man is whipping motherfuckers. Everybody's doing their part. It is beautiful.
It's a shark. Oh my god, you're not gonna believe this. Okay, do you remember when we were on that planet and I said I wasn't feeling good? I fell asleep and something weird must have happened because Doctor Strange woke me up. He said it's been 5 years and we actually need to come back and we need to finish the fight. Why are you hugging me?
It's a hug. Oh. This
He
feels
got the
nice.
hug.
He got the hug.
Oh, my man.
Okay.
And of course,
We're not done.
The fighting intensified. Shit is getting too real all over the place.
We're not done yet. Barton still has the Iron Gauntlet with the Infinity Stone.
Fuck, shit, damn, piss, bucket, damn.
Black
and
Panther
Thanos is
stop.
like,
No.
get that fucking gauntlet for
No.
me.
He's trying to dodge. He's trying to run. Black Panther says, "Clint, throw it to me."
Cut back to
No.
Civil War. Hey, my name is Clint. I do not
don't
care.
care.
Cut back to this. He does care.
He does care.
He does care.
We toss the gauntlet to,
All
to
the
T'Challa,
memes.
and T'Challa is like, oh shit, oh shit,
Okay,
oh
this
shit.
was a terrible mistake.
This was a
What
horrible
I
idea.
thinking?
And
Why is
then,
this glowing?
while that's going on, Thanos is approaching, and then Miss Maximov would like to have a word with you.
You took everything away from me.
I don't even know who the hell
you
this bitch
are.
is.
You will.
And Thanos goes at her, and she goes,
She
you
hexes
may
his
have more
ass.
strength than me, but I got 6 psychic powers. And she fucking holds him in clutch, and we see his armor cracking. Now, I don't know if that's actually hurting him, because he's fucking tough as shit.
Or
But
she's, like,
every
cracking it on
second
him.
she keeps in there is a second the gauntlet is getting away from him. So he gets
He is
desperate.
so
and he
bad.
goes,
He gets desperate and
just
orders the
bomb
ships to
everything. And
But
surprisingly,
my liege, my troops, do it.
fucking do. And then everything just turns into even more pandemonium.
Oh,
and poor
yeah.
Spider-Man is hanging onto the gauntlet, flying around on the Pegasus. Oh my god!
Activate instant
But
kill.
then-
Yeah, no, he activates instant kill on the fucking thing, and
He's
his
just,
Iron Spider legs.
you notice that the
stab
legs are going
Chitauri.
straight for the heart every time,
Yeah,
right?
instant kill.
That's terrible. But eventually, even the numbers get to him. But it's okay, because then Thor frees him. He's hanging on to the hammer, and then he's hanging on to Valkyrie in the Pegasus. Man, I'm spending way more time away from buildings than I thought I would.
I know, right?
Holy shit. Man, poor Tom Holland. He's
Poor-
the second guy that hasn't seen the movies. Man, I don't know what the hell's going
What's
on.
going on?
They did that on purpose because him and Mark Ruffalo are spoilerific little motherfuckers.
Of course they are.
Yes, they are.
And you think it gets bad because now Thanos is ordering his people
We
to
have a
carpet
warship
bomb.
blowing everything, but it's okay. Because whatever the Dragon Balls are, there has to be Super Saiyans. Come to Captain America, Captain Marvel going, okay, guys, listen, I'm sorry I was away. Takes a while to fly from the other galaxy
Faster
to
than
here.
light isn't that fast, okay?
So
You're Peter.
I love the fact that she doesn't even do an attack. She just plows through the ship like it was made of cardboard, goes back up, and the ship is gone.
like Spider-Man gets like knocked into some debris and he's
Oh, shit.
clutching
Oh,
onto
shit.
the
And
gauntlet
then
for
she
dear
arrives.
life, and she descends upon him. Hi, I'm Peter Parker.
Hi,
Hello.
Peter Parker. You got something for me?
Oh,
Yeah, here we go.
oh, that's not what I'm asking for.
No, I refuse.
You may refuse all you want to, but apparently the fandom has gotten quite a fact on the idea that A, bitches love Spider-Man. And B, we get this nice moment where all the female heroines get together to help Captain Marvel get to the time machine so we can stop the bullshit. Oh yeah,
Hashtag girl power. Hashtag feminism.
but the point is, honestly, it looks less than more the fact of everybody's trying to protect their precious boy Spider-Man.
He's just
Yes!
And
Take
I'm like,
care of the cinnamon roll. Cinnamon
there's also
roll
the
must
fact
be
that in the
protected.
comic books,
he's actually like a cinnamon stick, because he's twiggy.
there's also the
A
fact
churro?
that in the comics,
Or is he flan? Because he's
No.
also gooey.
Guys.
Oh,
We
Christ.
must protect the churro.
Oh my god.
there's also the fact
damn
that in the comic books, Spider-Man gets along very well with Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the fandom doesn't need a reason to pair characters together.
No,
And
no,
when
we
you
don't.
have attractive space elder mature woman approaching young and experienced boy.
All the fanships.
I'm not saying that several
I love
adolescent
Peter
fantasies were
Parker.
rekindled
You've
that
got
day.
something for me?
I'm
Wait.
stating it.
Hey, Angel. You know what
God
destroys
damn-
ships?
You're all
Cannon.
Well,
You're all
she
fucking
destroyed the
nuts.
cannons.
She destroyed the cannons and the ships to
So-
make new ships. Oh,
so
God
we
damn
get-
it.
you-
Patty, like that. KStorm, how fucking dare you? By the way,
See, Angel, on
it.
one hand, I want to agree with you.
You got something for me?
Yes.
Peter Coon, you got something for me?
Mr. Stark, I need an adult. It's okay, kid. They're all adults.
I need a
Rhodey,
more adult.
Rhodey, get the camera. I want to see this.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god. All right,
Okay,
moving
so
on.
while that's happening, we get Captain Marvel do her Super Saiyan shit. But unfortunately, before they can get to the time machine, Thanos is like, my weapon may be broken, but I'm still a professional space javelin thrower in my youth. Could have gone pro if I hadn't joined the Space Navy. Whoosh! Well, fuck the time machine. Captain Marvel gets blasted away by the explosion, and seriously, the last stretch of this fight is nothing but the most desperate game of keep away in the world.
Yeah, what's
Keep
his
away,
face?
keep away,
Cannot
keep-
grab the fucking. Just stop him now. And Doctor Strange
Is
wants to
monkey
help,
in the freaking middle?
but he needs
And
to
Thanos
stop.
is the monkey.
But he needs to stop the
Thanos is the
water
monkey.
because the whole place is fucking floating. And then the moment happens. The music that plays during the scene, by the way, is called The One.
See, here's the thing.
Oh,
The whole
boy.
time, Doctor Strange hasn't been in the fight because he's holding the lake that was next.
Yeah,
to
that could
the
have
start
flooded the
of
whole area and killed everyone.
and he could have just drowned everyone.
Fairly
He's been-
certain that was the river.
No, it wasn't a river. It was a lake.
It was a massive lake. Honestly,
So
it was
go
so
on.
big the first time I saw it, it was part of the ocean or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. no, So, and this whole time, also Captain Marvel, like you mentioned, she was playing keep away with the Infinity with the Iron Gauntlet, and he tries to headbutt her the same way he did with Captain America.
Nope.
No cell.
Also, for little thing, you notice that while they're fighting, first Captain Marvel is getting swatted aside. Then she's fighting him evenly. Then she's bending his fingers back because you notice that the energy is flowing from the gauntlet to her. She can absorb energy, so that thing is basically a super battery. And he's like, "Oh fuck. Okay, how about this then?" He
Pops the
grabs
Power
the Power Stone in his other arm, and she just gets a moment of going,
This
"A
is gonna
mistake
suck.
has been made," and just
This is gonna suck. Oh God.
there goes my hero. Oops.
Watching as he goes.
Oh god.
So no, seriously, she gets punched so hard she doesn't show up until the end of the movie.
So
Like,
Yeah.
and
she
this
is
whole
out.
time, and Iron Man had been separated from the fight also, but he had a little moment with Doctor Strange. Said, "You said you saw 14,605 different versions of this.
And
Is this the
Stranger
one that we're
just-
gonna win?"
If I tell you, it's not gonna happen.
But as Captain Marvel got shoryukened
Got
out of there,
yeeted out of the fight.
she got yoked.
She got yoked.
She got
Yoked
yoked.
is the past tense of yeet. Okay,
Nice.
I may be an old fuck compared to these Snapchat kids, but I know my vocabulary.
Right.
So
So
she was yoded.
ultimately,
Anyway.
So ultimately, just like Doctor Strange just looks at Iron Man and just no words, just lifts a shaking finger because my hands are still fucked up from the accident, and Iron Man goes, "It's time." So Thanos puts on the gauntlet, goes to the power-up sequence again, and then Tony jumps in and going, "Mom said it's my turn to play with the Xbox."
Mine.
No,
Mine.
So he swats Iron Man away, looks at him dramatically, smiles, and repeats the line he said at the beginning of the movie, "I am inevitable." Clang!
Mama. Clang. What?
What?
Turns
Then
around.
he turns it around. He's like,
No stones.
"Where are the
because
stones?
of-
Where are the goddamn stones?"
Because of course Tony Stark will remade it with his own technology, so he can use the nanomachines. And Tony fashions himself a
No,
he just attaches them to his hand.
He just slaps them onto the back
You
of his
see
hand.
the material
Yeah.
from his fingers recede to accommodate the stones, and then you see the burning spread through his body. Also, props to him. The Hulk was screaming in pain. Tony, he barely even flinches. He looks at Thanos and goes,
And I am Iron Man. Big ass fucking snap.
and then we cut and we see Rocket Raccoon about to get eaten by a Leviathan. The Leviathan is gone.
Dust.
The soldiers begin to disappear. Everything starts to bite the dust. And in a beautiful case of irony, as Thanos is looking around and seeing, he sees the ebony mole reach out towards him before fading away.
The
Just
same way Peter Parker did.
reach out to his father figure. And a little farther, you can see the other two, who apparently were lovers, hold each other close.
That would be Proxima Midnight and not
The Green Goblin.
Corvus Glaive.
the Green Goblin Glaive.
Corvus Glaive.
Yeah, they hold each other before fading away, just like Wanda Ambition. And Thanos just looks around, and he has this look of... I'm not going to call it disbelief. I'm going to say resignation, because he knows. He lost. His life's work has been ruined, and he's been dealt the greatest defeat that he could ever have.
Yeah.
And he just, to his credit, no screaming, no threats, no speech. He just
like at the end of Infinity War.
sits down, lowers his head, and fades away. no better way he could have gone, honestly. Like, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. But unfortunately, the stones exact their toll, and Tony Stark doesn't make it out of this fight alive. So, to his credit, though, Pepper has a time, like, while he's still barely conscious, he goes, "It's okay, we won, you can rest." And then he dies.
So Peter's there, Rhodey's there, Pepper's there, the people that were closest to him.
Yeah, and they're all trying to console him until Pepper, and he's looking like he's desperately trying to stay awake until she goes, "You can rest now." He's like, "Okay, we won." And he goes.
Yeah.
And the fight ends exactly pretty much the way we expected.
Jesus, man, fuck you. Fuck you, Angel. I'm not trying to have these feels right now, motherfucker.
Too late. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, no, we watched this. I watched this movie 3 times already.
Motherfucker.
Fuck you!
It doesn't feel like it's 3 hours every time.
You're right, it doesn't.
So, of course, like a good hero, he gets a funeral, and we get to see everybody who is in one way, shape, or form his influence.
he
Even
also
that
had-
kid from Iron Man 3 shows up. Holy
Harley,
shit!
yeah.
Yeah, he sprouted.
Yeah, he's just there. So
sprouted.
we see, the funeral, and we have a Laurel Reed going to the water with his original arc reactor.
With the
Proof
little
that Tony Stark
had
has a heart.
That's
It's-
the
oh,
little
man.
gift that Pepper made him.
You know
And
how
he
important
also-
this was? Drax was wearing a shirt. That's how important that was.
Drax was wearing a shirt.
And we get to see even Nick Fury stands in the background, solemnly silent. He didn't get any lines on this movie, sadly.
But there's,
And
there's
hey,
also
Captain
the little-
Marvel also survived.
She was there, thank you.
Yay.
There was also this little video that Tony, in the beginning of Endgame, he recorded basically like his last will and message to Pepper. But here, he recorded a message to Pepper and to Morgan.
just
And
before the
just
time
before
heist.
the time heist. Hashtag time heist.
Hashtag time
and
heist.
he's saying like, okay, I'm all over myself. I don't know what I'm saying, but the point is, if I die, know that I've died for you and that you guys made this all worthwhile to me. And part of the journey is the end. And if this is the end, then I'll be dreaming of you. I love you 3000.
Okay, take this mic. I've got to go. Bye.
Props to Marvel
Hey,
for
Storm, don't
making me.
forget to wear human clothing. Get out of my flannel.
Props to Marvel for making me feel sad about freaking hamburgers.
No
Cheeseburgers.
No cheeseburgers. Because what's her face?
Happy
Little
was
Morgan is in.
You want something to eat? Cheeseburgers. You know
Your-
your dad loved cheeseburgers.
Your daddy
Aw.
loves
I get you all the cheeseburgers you want after this. So, in a nice reversal of the original theme, in Infinity Wars, the Avengers lost because they were unwilling to sacrifice anyone. And only here, by willing to make the required sacrifice, they were able to win against the overwhelming power of the galactic conqueror Thanos. We see that the world is slowly building itself back together, but as we said before, we gotta put the stones back. So Captain grabs the Mjolnir, grabs the stones, says goodbye to Bucky, and he goes to take the advice of an old friend. He goes to live the life that he should have lived.
So at the end of this, what happens is the Infinity Stones are returned to their place. Mjolnir is returned to its place. But Captain America misses his mark to return with the quantum tunnel
On purpose.
on purpose. And apparently, since they're at Tony's lakeside farm or whatever, they see someone sitting at a bench overlooking the lake.
Kind of looks like Clint Eastwood.
Very, very chiseled Clint Eastwood without the racism. And Bucky and Sam walk up to him, walk up to this strange old man. Bucky takes a step back and tells Sam, "You go ahead. This is for you." Sam speaks with this old man, tells him that he went ahead and got the life that Tony always told him to go get. He takes a look at this man's left hand. He's wearing a wedding band. So
You want to tell me about her? No. I
don't
think
think
I
I
won't.
won't.
And we go to this beautiful, sappy
we got
moment.
something for you though. He pulls a leather round backpack. Hands it to Sam.
Sam, it is your turn to be the next Captain America.
Tell me, put that on and tell me how it feels. Feels like it belongs to someone else.
It doesn't.
It belongs to you.
Wait a second. Does that mean that he's now Captain Falcon?
Oh,
kill
fuck
it.
you!
I'm sorry, it just came to me
You
all of a
had to
sudden.
kill
Like,
the moment, didn't you, motherfucker?
he's Captain Falcon.
He is Captain Falcon.
But as we know, yeah, basically, in a nice wraparound, bittersweet way, the movie ends exactly the way the franchise started. Tony Stark, the once selfish man, was willing to put his life on the line to save the entire universe. And Captain America, who had nothing except to give himself, was able to be selfish for once and get the happy ending he deserved.
But and Thor?
Thor. Right, Thor. Well,
Thor went off with the
it's
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm tired of being a god, and I'm tired of being what they expect me to be. So, Valkyrie, you're in charge now. I mean, let's be honest. You've been rolling this place for the last 5 years anyways.
No, you're the Queen of Asgard.
I'm going to go into space, and I'm going to have adventures. I'm going to get my abs back, find myself.
And I'm going to be the best me that I can be.
I'm going to shit on Quill relentlessly, though, because he's funny like that. I
he shits
swear
on
to
me.
God, the
It's
amount
buddy
of
comedy.
passive-aggressive shit, like, you say that, but you move the map. I think you should fight for leadership. I guess
please, fight with knives.
No, nobody's going to stab anyone because we all know who the leader is.
Yes, we do.
It's me, right? Of course. Of course.
Awkward laughing.
I love that. I love he waits like 5 seconds before going, of course.
Okay, shenanigans are had. And also, past Gamora apparently helped out. And there's this little bit of like her meeting Quill, and he's like, Gamora, you're back. She punches him in the face. Don't you dare touch me.
Yeah,
that is well deserved. I'm sorry. No, I have to say this right now. I have to say it. That is well fucking deserved because of how much he shot the fucking plan
No.
Infinity War.
14,605,000.
This was necessary.
This isn't necessary.
I don't give a shit.
No, you don't
even
understand.
Nebula tells
You
her,
don't
like,
understand.
wait.
Him getting kicked in the balls was also necessary.
Yes, it was.
Yes, that's what. That's
Doctor
the point I'm
Strange
trying to get at.
calculated the probability of his balls being kicked and says, no, she needs to miss first, then she needs to get both of them.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, no, Quill didn't get it very good in this one, though. He did his part fighting in the final fight. Ultimately, he ends with his crew and with Thor. So now we're going to do As Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
While going out there to look for Gamora, who
Yeah,
has
because
disappeared without a trace.
She's missing right now. She just went missing because this Gamora is good, but this is not the Gamora they know.
she's
The
not-
original is dead. Natasha is dead. The people who are dead, stay dead. Vision is gone.
Yep.
So overall, I gotta say this movie did exactly what I wanted it to do, and then blew all my expectations. This is the DMC5 of Marvel movies.
Do you want to know what actually did it the best over here? Like at the end of everything, we had we had Steve and Peggy dancing in their beautiful little suburban house.
Yes.
They finally have their kiss. That's the end of the movie. But what really seals it is as we're going through the end credits of everything. At the very end, the original 6 Avengers, you have their signatures as part of the ending of their credits. You see like them in the beginning and how they ended up in the end as the characters and shit. And like they pulled that bullshit straight out of Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country.
With the signature.
Which is the signature.
And how it went in
This
reverse.
is the end. Oh my God.
And how it went in reverse order one after another until finishing with Mr. Stark. And then at the end of the movies, no teaser, no sneak peek this time. It's just the sound of hammer on metal as the first armor was ever made. How is that for rounding up an 11-year-old franchise with 23 movies worth of content?
It's beautiful. Man.
DC,
22.
take some fucking notes.
They did. They said, "Okay, let's start with Civil War.
No, wait,
and then
stop.
let's go and get ourselves set up with a comedy with all the criminals and soldiers and thugs, and then let's actually do something girl power. And now we're gonna go ahead and have comedy again."
What?
Because that's how it works.
How much shit can
right?
we cram
Do
into
you
one
love
movie
us yet?
just to keep up with Marvel?
Not enough.
Do you love us yet? Do you love us yet?
No.
DC,
So,
stop.
Let's be honest. Aside from Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and apparently Shazam, DC ain't doing too good right now.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to have to either reboot this entire thing from the start.
Again.
Do you guys hear the news that Edward from Twilight is going to
Robert Pattinson.
See, on one hand, I'm worried. On the other hand, the actor himself hated the role with a passion. So there's still hope.
I don't give a fuck if he wanted to shoot every.
But getting back
Oh,
on
whatever.
Excuse me. If you're an actor, they offer you a script and you're going to get paid. You're going to take it. Take the words of Ron Perlman. My wife likes shoes.
Yes. Also, getting back onto the
wrap
subject
up.
of Avengers Endgame, this was
Let's
a great
wrap up.
way.
We're going 2 hours. Come
Yes,
on.
this was a
Please, that ain't shit compared to the actual movie.
guys. This was a great way to wrap up 11 years of Marvel films, starting from Iron Man all the way until now. It is the finale of the old guard of the Avengers. Obviously, the Marvel Cinematic Universe will continue to produce more new movies.
We
as
got a trailer
years
for
go.
Homecoming like a second before the
You
movie
mean
started.
Spider-Man Far From Home?
I keep mixing them up. I'm sorry.
It's
We
okay.
got a trailer from Spider-Man Far From Home before the actual Endgame movie.
And they verbally confirmed that it does take place after Endgame.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, the trailer tells us it happened after Endgame.
I love the movie. I love the way it closed out. I couldn't think of a better way of closing out. I've read lots of some few complaints online that there was too much pandering and the writing was too Disney. But personally, I had no problems
To
whatsoever.
Disney. Have you read the comic books? You're lucky that they actually got the resolution like
What
this.
do you
It's
mean
a
by
happy
two
ending.
Disneys? Because I don't know you, but I didn't saw a
I
single
don't know.
musical number in there.
Apparently,
neither.
there was too much fan service, and it wasn't and it wasn't accurate enough to the comics.
Okay, first off, accuracy to the comics doesn't matter. This is his own universe right now. He has his own facts to go through.
Exactly.
Second, it needed to have fan service because this is the last one. If it didn't have fan service, people would. Let me put it this way. Too much fan service is way better than not enough fan service. This has been building up for a decade and a little longer. So yes, this was always going to be fan service. And if
Indeed.
fan service is the thing that bothered you, you shouldn't have gone to the movie to the first place. Also, what the fuck do you mean too much Disney? Did we miss all the death
Motherfuck
and
y'all.
murder and sadness and loss and destruction?
Angel,
what
you
kind
know-
of Disney movies are you watching?
Angel, these are stupid. These are dumbasses. You know they're not going to give specifics.
I know, but it has to be
But you
addressed.
got too much with
Let's
her.
get one thing straight.
She's too. The realize it's too much.
Let's get one fucking thing straight. Let's get one thing straight here, people. The second the contract was signed to begin building the set for Marvel Studios, the second Marvel Studios became a legal property,
Yep.
comic book canon can suck a dick. It doesn't matter anymore.
Afraid not. Yeah.
We can take things from the comic, but this is basically doing its own thing. And if you don't expect that, then you're clearly not going to the right place. I'm sorry you're disappointed.
If you wanted
but
to-
I'm not sorry, actually. That's your problem. Fucking
If you're
deal with
trying to stay completely and 100% faithful to a canon that retcons itself every 10 years,
Shit, can we
you're
have the
going
one
to
with-
have a bad time.
it. Wait, are you telling me that in Age of Ultron, Wanda and Max and Pietro weren't fucking each other?
Nope.
Remember that time they did it?
Yeah.
And Wolverine was watching from the bushes?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're,
Yeah, listen, guys. Comic books are great, but there's a lot of shit in between the good moments, okay? For every whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, there's a lot of shitty Superman comics. For every Return of the Dark Knight, there's a lot of shitty Batman comics.
Yeah.
Every single good comic book that
remember
you
when
ever
the
read,
Do
every
you-
volume that you loved was surrounded by a sea of garbage.
Do you remember when the Flash used to wear a fucking frisbee on his head?
Yes.
I remember.
Remember when one of the contemporaries of the Flash was a man called the Wizard?
I remember.
Wizzer. Yes, like that. He was dressed in yellow too.
do
He
you
had a
remember
cap
wh-
with an angry bird face.
Do you
on it.
remember when Wonder Woman started going in as a nightly assassin in leather hot pants because fuck the patriarchy?
Remember when Doctor Strange was holding guns and had an ankh stuck to his arm? Remember that time where Superman, what was the one? Hang on. No, remember that time when Spider-Man made a deal with the devil to sacrifice his
More
unborn
day.
child?
I remember that.
In order-
All right,
Yeah.
right. I think we made our point.
Let's get one thing clear. For every good thing that you enjoy from comic books, there is an equal garbage somewhere out there. So don't treat the movies like comic books because officially these are their own thing. It's inevitable. You cannot go. We discussed this how many times already? Every time
Bajillion.
there's an adaptation, something will be gained and something will be lost.
We've discussed
You
this
cannot
many-
have perfect detail. It's impossible.
I know.
Exactly.
Which is why I accept it as it is. And I don't want to take up too much time because I don't want to run it 3 hours like the movie. So, Angel, your thoughts.
This movie was fantastic. I have no complaints about it. It is a wonderful 10 out of 10. For once, its problems don't detract from it. They actually add to it. Me and Juan had a conversation after we talked about Captain Marvel's Ara Onesa moment, and we decided that Thanos just actually wanted to destroy all the loot shit from the universe. And
He
leave a
only
clean
wants Studio Ghibli and missionary position for the
sake of
procreation.
He wanted to destroy the filth. But overall,
and he was
I
defeated by
enjoyed
the
it.
ultimate Chad, Tony Stark.
Exactly. The Virgin Thanos, the Chad Stark. But overall, it was great. It was fantastic. I recommend it to anybody who enjoyed the previous movies. And I hope that Marvel goes on making good movies from this point on. Because so far, I'm not saying they're all perfect, but they haven't let me down yet.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was taken on a roller coaster ride for Endgame, and this has been 10 years.
Take you for the ride.
10 years in the making, and I couldn't be happier. And my son was with us the whole time, and he lost his mind. And that's really what it's about. It's like passing the torch, and that's sort of what Far From Home is going to touch on a little bit, I guess. But you can't pass the torch if the old guard isn't gone. We don't have Black Widow anymore. Hawkeye's retired again. The Hulk is not the Hulk. Thor is off being an Asgardian of the galaxy. Captain America retired peacefully, and Tony Stark sacrificed himself for the universe. this is the end of the original Avengers, and just like in the comics, there will be new Avengers, and there will be new stories and new adventures to tell. But you can't have those new stories if we can't move on from the past. But this is the best way to go about it, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you to Marvel Studios. Thank you to everyone who was involved in making the movie. Thank you to the MCU, to all the fans, and thank you to you listeners for listening into this podcast. And that wraps us up on our review of Avengers Endgame. On behalf of KStorm Cosplay and Jose Casabona and Angel Mendez, who's still here. Jose went off to take a tinkle. KStorm is...
Hey, man, I can't help but to notice half of our team has disappeared. Should I be worried?
It's okay. They'll be back. They will be back. Okay, it's going to take them a while to come back. But anyway, the point is...
Listen, if we cannot get them back, we sure as hell did avenge them.
Yes, we did. Thank you very much for listening in. Thank you for checking up on our programs. Continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlock online, Patreon.com/TheRavensFlock. Donate as little as $1 a month for online early access to all our programs and exclusive announcements and updates on projects on The Ravens Flock. You can listen to us on SoundCloud and iTunes. Just search The Ravens Flock. You can search The Black Files. Give us thumbs up. Give us reviews. Help us out with that sweet, juicy algorithm. And, of course, give us thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and watch our programs on youtube.com/TheRavensFlock, home of Los Amigos Play and The Ravens Flock. I want to thank you all once again for joining us on the Uncensored Interview and Review podcast of The Ravens Flock. This has been The Black Files.